Russ Martin Show.
I forget what Oxycontin is.
That's a painkiller. But it's like, remember the Vicodin you had that you took a few and then a couple hours
you got it all clogged up?
More. Yeah, but it gives you that really happy, floaty feeling. Mr. Rob.
What is he doing on it?
He just had some pain.
With his knee?
Yeah, his knee pain.
Was he doped up?
He said he was yesterday. He goes, everything was fine. No drinking. It just felt fine. The world was fine. Oh, Rob, quit that crap. Also, dusting. Dusting is a form of huffing, by the way. Sniffing inhalants to get lightheaded and rapidly, of course, killing your brain cells in the process. Dusting is a specialized form. It's used when someone inhales the compressed air from the cans you use to dust your computer. The potential consequences are paralysis, slurred speech, permanent brain damage, and possibly even sudden death.
Flo said that if I don't drink while I'm on the Wellbutrin, I could have a seizure.
Where did he come up with that?
I don't care.
So you've got to continue. There's never been a prescription drug put out that says you got to drink alcohol with this.
Ask me where he got that again.
Where did he get that?
I don't care.
I'm saying thank you.
Why you keep giving me God cards?
That's a very sincere, honest thank you for everything.
Why is a God card?
Because I think that card, it spoke to my heart, and I thought maybe you would like it. It's true.
Why'd I get this one?
Just general. Read it.
You're a special friend.
See?
When God met. Rob, buy this for you.
No.
Did Rob write it?
I did. He did not.
Oh, that's written? It's not printed on there?
No, it's printed. It just sounds like something Rob would write.
Oh, I see.
Mm-hmm.
When God made you, he blessed the world with a very special person. God had a plan in creating you. I'm so glad our friendship was a part of his plan.
I just don't think I say it enough.
You're right. Thank you for all your tough love and support over these many years. Love you, John. Romans 11:16. What is that?
Look it up.
I don't want to look it up. Why you turn into a schmooker?
I'm not a schmoker.
Yeah.
You know how damn irritating that is
you.
when somebody says Romans 11:16. Look it up. That puts you on a level that I'm not at because you know what it means and I don't.
Mm-hmm.
It's code.
It's not a code.
It is a code.
It's in the Bible.
Well, and the Bible is the decoder.
Okay. It's a book. It's in every hotel room in the world.
Well,
It's a trick, is what it is.
It's a trick to do what?
to go and get me to read the other stuff around it.
Well, possibly. Would it kill you?
Quit being tricky with the Bible.
I gotta look it up and see what. You're not gonna tell me what Romans 11:16 is? Is this something else you just guessed at?
No, this is a real one.
Probably not even a real verse.
Romans. Is it 11:36? King James Version. Romans 11:36. For of him and through him and to him are all things. To him be the glory forever. Amen. Is that it?
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean?
That just means our friendship was made in heaven. What's funny about that? I'm being sincere. I think we have a purpose in each
I want
other's
you to take a pee test.
I think we have a very specific purpose in each other's lives.
Stop it. Claude, you got a tissue?
What is...
God smoking free?
Thank you.
God is smoking. There are some things in the Bible that make sense.
And there's some that don't.
Yeah, that's true. There's some inconsistencies. No doubt.
So why all of a sudden you on this kick?
I'm just saying thank you. You say I don't say thank you. No, I'm saying thank you for specific things.
But why do you have to include Roman meal? What is this? Romans 11:36.
Because I thought it was a nice verse. All things do come through him. Quit that. Stop it.
I'm sorry, our friendship was made where?
In heaven. You don't think so? You don't think of me as a friend?
Yes.
Okay. Well, then I think we have a specific reason we're in each other's lives. And it's a lot more than just radio banter.
What is it?
I think it leads to on a spiritual level, you mean?
Uh-huh.
On a spiritual level, I think we serve a very important purpose in each other's lives. You say things that I really should know sometimes and don't say. You really do. And you've been right more than you've been wrong. Even though sometimes you say them to be a smart ass. You're right a lot of times. And over the years, you've been right.
Oh, yeah. P-Test Monday.
Mm-hmm. Why? Because I'm being honest?
What's wrong with you?
Yeah, what's in your pee?
What's in my pee?
Somebody drop off a bong, you beat me to it.
JD's a big winner in the bong race.
I'm being honest and sincere. Why is that? Okay, I'll give you these. I won't give these at work anymore. I'll just send them to your house.
It's just every day not every day, but the last 3 days there's been a card and each one had some type of Christian connection.
Spiritual connection, not Christian connection, even though I'm a Christian. It's a spiritual connection. Why is that? I don't know. I really am a little confused.
Why not just some card with the gorilla or something that just says thanks, I like hanging with you.
The Russ Martin Show.
That's what you're wound up about?
Absolutely. Dale Jr., it's almost been 2 years since he won. He leaves his dad's corporation, goes to Hendrick Motorsports, has no excuses left because it's the best team.
Well, hang
First
on.
race out.
Wait a minute. Excuses for what?
Not winning.
What was he using before as an excuse?
That his stepmom was running DEI into the ground and they didn't have the quality cars they did when his dad was around.
I thought all the cars were pretty much identical.
Well, the new one, the car of tomorrow, which is now the car of today, they pretty much are.
Hold on. I read about that Friday, and I didn't know what it was. I just saw car of tomorrow, NASCAR, and then I flipped the page. What's the car of tomorrow? That's the car of today.
It was introduced last year.
And how did that happen over the weekend?
Instead of every team having like 20 different cars built for specific racetracks, they wanted a uniform car. NASCAR issues the parts for it, and there's very little variance in what you can do with them. Everyone was bitching about it.
I thought that was the rule now.
No, it wasn't.
You had a stock car, and you couldn't do a whole lot to it unless you got caught.
It used to be that. It used to be you could fiddle with them, and engineering-wise, body style, whatnot. Now everything is very uniform, and everyone bitched about it.
Almost like taking 100 cars from Ford straight off the lot. All right, everybody race these.
Kind of, yeah.
Now it's no longer Nobody has the upper edge as far as mechanical expertise. It's all the drivers.
Well, you still have engine building. People build better engines than other teams, but yeah, it's much more related on the driver.
So they can still go back and dig with the engine.
A little bit. But
okay, I forget. What's the car tomorrow? That's the car today.
It's the new car. I mean, for Chevy, it's the Impala. Toyota's the Camry. But they're all the same, pretty much.
You understand this?
Nope.
Dan?
No. Well, I do. I just don't particularly care.
Well, I don't care either, but I'm trying to understand because it sounds simplistic.
How
but
did the
I
car?
don't get it.
What happened to the car of yesterday?
They sold them.
Gone. Now the car of tomorrow looks different.
Yes. Has a rear wing. It basically,
Who did they sell the car of yesterday to?
a lot of the ARCA teams.
Who was that?
It's kind of the junior NASCAR races before you get
Like
into.
a farm team for NASCAR.
Yeah.
Okay. So everybody sold their cars?
Yeah, you can't use them anymore.
And when does the car tomorrow, with car today, when does that officially hit the tracks?
It did Saturday night.
Oh, that's why it's a car today.
Uh-huh.
All right.
And Dale Jr. won.
And Dale Jr. won. But see, the difference with the car tomorrow is, like the teams that wrecked on Friday in practice, they brought out what would have been their short track car. Now,
What is that, for retard?
no, just half-mile tracks.
All right.
And they ran them at Daytona Superspeedway, which is 2.5 miles, and they were in like third and fourth place. So
I don't know what you're telling me.
they have a car that can run everywhere. One car, then it's still going to have like 16 of them per team, but they pretty much have one car that can run at every track.
All right. Which car is that?
That's the car of tomorrow, which is now the car of today.
Because Dale Jr. won Saturday in one of the cars of right then.
Yeah. And he hadn't won in 2 years. First race with his new team.
Gavin,
Yes.
can you simplify this?
Sure. Change.
All right, then. Mission accomplished. What was the reason for changing the cars? Chloe, would you turn the air down in here? As in a lot. Go ahead, Gavin.
To save teams money, to make them safer, and to even out the field. Those
But-
are three reasons.
And it's like I said earlier, as if they just took 100 cars off of dealership lot and here, race with these.
Yes, but I think what Trey was saying is, for instance, a short track, which is a shorter track, they'd have a special car designed, kind of like if you put snow tires on a car up north.
Well, Trey just said you could use the same car on the short track as any other track.
Exactly. You could not do that with the past car. You can do that now. So it saves them money because they don't have to build specific cars for specific tracks.
Okay. And are you excited about Dale Jr.?
Oh, yeah. It's awesome. I think it's great for the sport. The fact that there's rumors about people punching each other already, it's going to be a great season.
Why are they punching each other?
Tony Stewart and Kurt Busch have a rivalry going back to last year. They've wrecked each other a couple times. Kurt Busch last year ran his car into Tony Stewart's car on pit row. Anyways, they
This
wrecked
is the car of yesterday.
But the car of today,
Yes.
they wrecked in Friday's practice just for the shootout. Kurt Busch comes down and under caution is banging his car against Tony Stewart's. They get called into the NASCAR hauler, and rumor is that Tony Stewart punched Kurt Busch. And that's the first day of racing.
Is that why we're excited? Because people are wrecking their new cars?
And fighting, yeah.
So you've just instilled road rage into NASCAR.
Yeah, it's not supposed to be there. And they'll probably get a pretty hefty fine come tomorrow.
Well, he's just running into him. Just like back up, boom.
Well, they're going like 50 miles an hour under caution, and then he pulls up next to Tony Stewart and just literally swerves his car into Tony Stewart's 3 times.
Just bumping doors.
Yeah.
Did they wreck?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Tony Stewart was trying to pass him on the outside. Kurt Busch went high, tried to block him. Tony Stewart got in the back of him. Because with the new cars...
Shut up!
I was waiting for that. You're about 4 minutes too late.
I just don't get how you wound up over that. Did you turn the air down?
Yes.
All right.
It's hot in here.
Did they change the tracks up?
They They redid Darlington.
Which way does that one go?
Still goes in a circle.
Yeah. How did they redo it?
They repaved it, reworked it. They put more banking in.
Is Eddie Gossage all wound up about this, Gavin?
Yeah, absolutely.
They get that bump fixed in turn 3?
Yeah, they did. And he just had a controversy himself for a billboard that he put up.
What did he put up?
He put up a billboard with Dale Jr. on it. And basically, Trey knows the exact verbiage, but it was basically...
Okay, could somebody tell me that possibly knows?
It said reason number 88 to come to the race is stepmom, meaning Dale Jr.'s fight with Teresa Earnhardt, his stepmom, and why he left the company.
You get it yet, John?
No, not close.
Hey, Dale Jr. was not happy with it.
I'm just talking to a couple of stuttering fags.
I have no idea.
I get nothing out of Gavin. I get nothing out of Trey. Everything.
I'm trying to...
Well, at least they're here. Do you know what it said, Dan?
No, I'm trying to find it online.
No, guys, don't worry about it.
It just said stepmom.
That's all it said on the board, just stepmom.
Yes.
Nothing else.
Reason number 88, which is Junior's new number, to come to TMS. Stepmom. And DEI was mad. NASCAR.
Thank you.
So they had to take the board down.
Why?
Because everyone called and told them to take it down. Junior, DEI, NASCAR, no one was happy about it.
Why would Junior care?
Because
he don't like her, right?
Yeah, but he's been very public in saying, leave her alone. She has the right, she owns the business. She has the right to do with it what she wants.
Oh, all right.
I'm exhausted.
It's great for ticket sales and NASCAR.
I need a nap.
But I don't care.
First race with Hendrick Motorsports, he won.
It's great.
What did you send me, Dan?
It should be the photo of the billboard.
All right. And we'll get to the bottom of it. Billboard removed at Texas Motor Speedway. Reason number 88. Stepmom. Dead. TexasMotorspeedway.com. NASCAR. TMS has agreed to replace the billboard, highlighting the strained relationship between Dale Earnhardt Jr. and his stepmother. After a complaint from his business manager, they'll replace the word stepmom with step. Manager, they'll replace the word stepmom with step. Step is a lot funnier.
Yeah. Catchier, too.
Yeah. I'd go.
I mean, I'm there.
All right. I don't want to hear any more about this. I'm basking with your idiocy. So just stand there and glow.
Gatorade duels start Thursday.
Do you know what that is, Dan?
Nope.
Good.
That's how they qualify.
No, I believe I'll live just in this mystery moment. Did you get my message from Saturday?
Yeah. You were quite twisted.
What happened?
I decided I didn't want to cook Saturday night, so I wanted to go someplace. Like, Gavin, where do you normally go for pre-prepared stuff?
Whole Foods.
Okay. There's a place close to me that's like that. It's not Whole Foods.
Okay.
As you go in, you're forced to walk through.
I know what you're talking about. Yes.
Am I the only person that hasn't been?
No, you're the only one that's ever been. You don't even have to go any further. I know exactly what you're talking about, and I get the same pissed off every time I go in there.
Yeah, we've all been there.
You go in, and it's a small area, and it shoots you straight into produce, and there's a bunch of big fat women weighing stuff. Weighing little bags of fruit, all standing in the way. Why don't you go weigh it yourself and move? And you can't get past them because they're all going back and forth weighing their stuff.
And the aisles are tiny because they want you to be able to see everything. So you can't, it's not just a giant area.
You can't see anything because of all the fat bitches weighing things. And as soon as I went in there with a cart, realizing I can't get past these fat bitches, just if I was me, I can't get past them with this cart unless I put a cattle catcher on the front of it.
You have to go that way. There's no other way to get in that store.
What's the reason behind that? because that's what's going to keep me out of that place. As soon as I walked through the doors with a cart, I went, oh, hell no.
I know. Felt the exact same way.
There's little secret passageways, though.
What?
There's little secret passageways. You have to find them.
Yeah.
In order to get
Is there one as soon as you walk in where you can sneak around the fat women weighing?
I think you have to get yes, there is, because when you walk in, you can walk in to the left where the checkout is and go around that way. You know what I mean? That's if the store is same as the one.
So you go in the back way.
Not the back way. You still go in the front door, but you go to the left as soon as you go into the front door.
To the left was a wall.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? It may be a different setup than the other store in Dallas. So, but
there's only one way to go, and it's to the right. It's to the cattle area.
Yeah. And it's like that nonstop. And then finally it breaks out into an open area where you can actually move around, but you got to go at least half an hour through this maze of fat women. And you go through that, and it's almost like sightseeing to see what all of them are weighing. You go through the produce. I forget what was next. And you get stuck with wine. And then there's the meat section. And everybody's got a number, and all these fat bitches, who I might want to point out, if you're eating beef, you're a cannibal, are sitting there holding their numbers up, waving at the guy behind the counter, waiting on their clump of flesh.
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
And I left Amy there.
Why'd you leave her there?
She said, well, we're here. Let's get something. Take the cart. Stay in touch.
You leave her.
I went back home. I got something to drink, and I went back.
Okay.
And she was still in there. And I had to go in, back through the maze, back through all the same fat women weighing the same stuff to find her.
It's not as bad if you don't have a cart, but if you have a cart, you can forget getting through there. Forget it.
I couldn't get through there just walking. What's the draw?
I mean, it's a high-end store. The meat is great.
It's basically the draw is the product.
Yeah.
You'll find stuff at those specialty type grocery stores that you're not going to typically find in your regular grocery store.
I caught up with her, and she still hasn't made all her choices. I went, take the produce that you have. We'll get up front. We'll lose the cart. We'll get out of here. So we do that. We go over to Tom Thumb, my buddy.
Yeah, your buddy Tom Thumb. I know.
Little short, friendly guy, his tongue out, a pencil behind his ear, waiting for me. Nobody was in Tom Thumb.
It's the only store designed that way.
I bet there were 4,000 people in that store.
And it's amazing because they're all concerned about their health, and yet there's a bunch of fat women.
Maybe they burn up a lot of calories weighing things. Now, do you have to price your own stuff? Because it looked like when they were weighing things, they had to get a sticker to put on there.
If it's the raw stuff, yes, you have to price it. You pull the tag off and write the number down.
That's what they were doing.
A whole line of all that stuff.
All I know is produce and fat women. So yeah, I called Trey.
That was amazing. Yeah, I get aggravated when I go through there too, and I just wondered what day you were going to finally find that store. Because you have less patience than I do.
Why would the place be packed on a Saturday night? It was like 8, 9 o'clock.
It's just very popular, and people just love it. You know, it looks good. It's that part of town. It looks really.
But you can't get anything done, and you can't move around anybody. And there's this big. There was one hot chick in there, dressed like a whore.
I know. Been there.
High-heeled stilettos. I'm not kidding. Stilettos. Halter top. Waiting with the cows to get her beef.
Sometimes actually people go in there looking for other people, and that's not uncommon.
Well, this one had her kid in the cart along with her.
No.
And I believe the kid also had a boob job. I think I told Trey that in a message. Do we need a break? Because it's very hot in here.
Yes.
Anything else happen to anybody over the weekend? JD, where'd you get kicked out of?
Who tells you this stuff, Gavin?
I don't know.
I told him I got kicked out of
some airplane museum?
C.R. Smith Museum at American Airlines. That old man
Who was it?
Chuck Yeager, Brigadier General Chuck Yeager. Very good.
He was a test pilot back in the 50s, 60s?
Yeah. Well, all the way up until last September, actually. But he's, broke the sound barrier, did a lot, shut down a lot of people, killed a lot of people. He's a very good speaker, had a lot of fun. And I was waiting in line, and finally I just stepped in front of a couple people and asked for his autograph, and I asked him to sign a book, and asked for a picture, and they finally grabbed me by the arm and went, "That's enough, move." It's like,
why'd you think you could step through the line?
There wasn't really a line. It was a gaggle of people just taking his picture. And I thought, well, they're not really in line. It's a gaggle of people. And he was very kind. He signed my stuff, and then they pulled me aside and said,
"They kick you out?
Leave the old man alone." No, they didn't really kick me out. They just pulled me aside.
Were you asking him a bunch of questions?
Yeah. I'm pilot.
Well, he's there for a signing, right?
He's there for a signing and a speech, and I guess they felt like the question and answer session in the
You didn't learn anything when you tried to get Tom Cruise's autograph when you're on the set with him as as an extra?
I paid money to get in to see him, this guy, the Chuck Yeager, and I thought, I can ask him a couple pilot questions.
How many questions did you get out?
About 4.
What did you ask him?
I was just asking
what was at the top of your list to ask Chuck Yeager?
I was asking him what it's like to be shot at. He gives a really funny story. He says, the Messerschmitts back in Germany.
I'd rather hear about NASCAR.
Okay.
What else did you ask him?
Ask him about shooting people down, about the Japanese, who was the hardest and who was the easiest to fight in a dogfight. And if he could
Who'd he pick?
Actually, as far as airplanes, he picked the P-51 as one of the best he's ever flown.
Who flew those?
He did. He flew. He flew all these planes.
When you said who'd he rather go up against in a dogfight, tell me about Dale Jr.
He's with the new team.
Shut up. Dogfight, who'd he pick? The Japs or somebody else?
He said the Germans actually were the best pilots to go up against. That's why he shot this one guy down who was on final approach with his landing gear down and his flaps down.
The guy was already landing?
The guy was landing, and Chuck was coming back from escorting a bomber, and he looked down.
Was he just in a bad mood?
He's a fighter pilot.
Well, the guy's not coming at you.
I know.
The enemy's landing.
The guy, he was landing, and he goes, he looked down, and he goes, I looked down and went, it's not very sportsman. What the hell? I killed him anyway.
And that's a guy you admire?
Absolutely.
But you won't shoot somebody standing in your kitchen in the middle of the night, a guy landing a plane who's not doing anything but just trying to get the hell out of there, and then you go ahead and light him up.
He's a fighter pilot. That's wartime. Yeah, you light him up. And then he goes, it's funny because he goes, now I'm over at the top of the field, and they're shooting these 10-inch shells at me, and they're going over the top of my plane and blowing their own stuff up. That was just another day in his life. He told some great stories.
All right. Do we need a break here?
Yes.
Okay, then.
We'll be back to the Russ Martin Show.
I'll tell you to go pull the message. I just want to know if you got it Saturday.
Now, back to the Russ Martin Show.
It's worthwhile.
How long did I go on?
Almost 2 minutes.
That twist. Oh, I've been there, I know.
Well, why didn't anybody give me the heads up before I went there to go shopping?
You wouldn't have believed it if I told you.
If you had told me this particular store is a maze that you have to go through and you have to get past all these fat bitches, I wouldn't go.
Yeah, but really, the food in the back.
How do you get there?
It takes.
And Chloe says that there's some secret passageway. Why don't they tell that to anybody?
It has to be underneath the apples then, because I've looked everywhere, and because that show got twisted the first time I went in there.
Is that Gail? Hi, Gail.
Hi, Russ.
What do you got?
I've got Don Davis Auto, and not too much, really. They just cleared the wreck in Haltom City on westbound 820 at 377. It's still backed up onto 183. And then in Dallas, you've got a stalled car on the Trinity River Bridge, westbound I-30, just before Beckley. It's in the right lane, and traffic is backed up in through the Canyon area. I'm Gail Lightfoot on the Russ Martin Show.
Thanks, Gail. A little warm tonight, 42 for the overnight low, then dropping off a little bit tomorrow, only 51 for the highs, 56 now at Live 105.3.
Is this really worth listening to?
Yeah. You're quite twisted.
All right. Well, let me read you this, because this is depressing, and then I'll play the...
We'll lighten it up.
Yeah. Johnny sent this out today from Operation Kindness.
All right.
Did you get a copy of this?
No.
To staff and volunteers, although I will still be working through this Friday, the Board of Directors has hired an interim executive director to start today. Therefore, I won't be in this week, but will finish my work from home. I'm sorry I didn't have a chance to say goodbye to each and every one of you and to thank you for your hard work and your efforts each day on behalf of the animals. Many of you know that Operation Kindness has been my life, had been my life, actually for 22 years. That's longer than some of you have lived. I will miss it more than I can say. I will miss all of you. And she goes on that she's addressing the staff. Mm-hmm. Did you read this, Trey?
No.
I will miss looking out my window and seeing the dogs at play in the dog parks.
Oh, Jesus.
This was hard to read.
Yeah. You get to see you're sitting right in this tears just coming down her face.
Well,
it's going to make me cry, and I didn't write it.
You got somebody that took the shelter from almost nothing to a multi-million-dollar facility, and all of a sudden the executive board decides they want to restructure. And they haven't met with the advisory board yet to really explain to us anything. We'll talk to you guys one-on-one. No, you won't. You're going to call a meeting, and you're going to talk to all of us.
They have to, correct?
No, Trey got the bylaws wrong because he likes to give me things on the air before he really checks it.
Okay.
He reads like he shakes.
Okay.
Now, what did it actually say in the bylaws for Operation Kindness? Do they have to meet with the board if we, the advisory board, if we request a meeting?
No.
Do they have to do anything?
They can. The president can call a meeting, and it has to take place within 72 hours. That is at the president's discretion.
Okay, but the advisory board, as far as this goes, has really no leverage.
I don't think so.
So I'm going to have to be ugly about it.
Yes.
Did you send the bylaws to Tim Powers?
I did.
All right. He's going to go through that and see if there's another angle that we can take.
You can pull out.
And it's funny because if I read it right, the new vice president on the board works for a company that goes in, acquires properties, businesses,
okay,
and then restructures. Now, they didn't go in. Nobody went in and acquired Operation Kindness, but it sounds like the same template that he does in his professional career.
That's his business template. That's how he fixes things.
So that entire scenario is squirrely.
Makes sense, though, when you put it like that.
Did you look at that link I sent you?
Oh, yeah.
You get the same vibe that I got?
Yeah. I mean, it's like a mergers and acquisition business.
Lovely.
Do you want to hear the rest?
Yes, I do, actually.
Let's see. I'll miss watching as you walk the dogs. I can't read this.
Go ahead, just try.
No, because then I'll tear up and I'll look like the big pussy, which is why you want me to read it.
No, it's not. I'd just like to hear what she has to say.
I'll miss seeing and hearing the puppies at play in their pens in the lobby.
Okay.
I think the reason this bothers me is it sounds like she's dying.
Yeah. She's not, though. She'll move on. Again, something good will come of this somehow. It will.
No.
It will.
Should pinch it. No. I've gone through this with you for the past 30 years. Anytime I go through a bad relationship or something rotten would happen, here you come with the cards.
That's not the cards. It's the truth. Good things will come of this. There will be something positive in the next 12 months, and you'll see why this worked out. It worked out every time when we have a TV show.
Things don't happen for a reason.
Yes, they do.
No, that doesn't make any sense.
So sometimes
if all things happen for a reason, then there's some predestined plan, and all we got to do is just sit back and go with the flow.
Not necessarily, but always something like back when we had the TV show. Something would crap, and something better would come of it.
Well, we had to struggle to figure out another outcome.
It happened every time.
Well, then you take credit for some type of creativity. But things just don't play out through some divine plan.
My point is
things don't happen for a reason. Don't say that. And don't give me the thing with the doors or the bus or every time a Cadillac backfires, somebody gets a gold tooth. I don't want to hear it.
I never said that one. I never said that.
If you're ever going through a tumultuous time, you don't want to be around JD at all.
I'm trying
because
to help.
You're gonna get all of those
platitudes.
And they're true.
They're not true.
Okay.
Sometimes the door closes and it stays closed.
And nothing is closed and you move on to something better. Look where you are now, Mr. Engaged, Mr. Set the date for his wedding.
First of all, don't confuse me right now. You can come back to that later.
Okay.
Because I don't even really know when the date is or how she did that to me. You know it?
Yeah.
Well, how do you know? Well, don't tell me, because if I don't show up, I can feign ignorance.
All right. Anyway, it's bad relationships happened, and something better came of it. That's what's going to happen here. Now read your email.
I'll miss seeing and hearing the puppies at play. I'll miss watching the kittens and the cat compactor playing with it.
Don't say that.
They're finally using it. Watching the kittens in the kitten room playing with their litter mates, cuddling together in their beds. I'll miss watching the cats snoozing in the sunshine on the cat porch. Other things you'll miss. I'm proud of this organization. I'm grateful I was given the opportunity to lead and nurture it throughout the past 2 decades. When I became president of the board of directors in 1989, we had $7,000 in the bank, 2 employees, and a 3-year lease on a 2,200 square foot office in a warehouse strip center. Now, we have almost $2.5 million in the bank. We own this beautiful shelter and 4.3 acres of land. We have 40 employees and no debt. So the reason to come in and restructure is what? Either she was screwing up something behind the scenes that I don't know about, which obviously that doesn't sound like the case, or this became a pissing match.
Probably the second. I bet you money somehow. It's a power struggle. Somebody came in and went, you know what? She's got way too much power. Let's just diversify a little bit. That happens every day in America. It happens every day in corporations. It happens in radio.
Why you want to come in and jack with an animal shelter? And the biggest card that they have over me right now about just absolutely going piss ape on them is the animals are still there.
Yeah. And
Johnny resigning or going through all this crap with the executive board, the animals don't vanish just because Johnny did.
I know. No, you're right. They've got that over you. You don't know which way to go.
No, I think she said there were 3 new members on the board. I'll bet you the vice president is one of them.
That's the one that works for that company of the reorganization.
And he's looked at it and goes, I can, restructure this and make it run better.
And I told somebody that I already know on the executive board, I don't care what Johnny's done. I don't care if you guys think she's working too many hours. That's her call. Unless she screws something up, let her work her ass off until she's dead. That's what she wants.
She lives for it.
Well, I don't care. I don't care what the reasoning is. Unless there was something that was going to create a liability with the shelter that I don't know about. Is there? No. Fine. Then she can do anything she damn well pleases for as long as she wants. Overworking herself? I don't care. Johnny wants to do that. Leave her alone. You guys are going to the shelter's going to take hits in so many different directions. The problem is the animals are going to be the ones that suffer as opposed to the dicks on the board.
So you've actually spoken to somebody on the board?
Yes.
Okay.
But just one of them, not the collective gaggle of dicks.
Because I got emails all weekend like this one from a guy who they don't do much of a year. They do drop off a couple $100 worth of stuff from the store for him. And he goes, I'm waiting. Russ, tell me what to do. I can send that Bennett or whatever his name is a bag of dog dung. I have plenty.
Dog what?
Dog dung.
Yeah.
But he says we gave every year. I'm waiting to hear what to do.
Well, Gavin's already sent him a letter. It said, obviously, we're going to have to look for a new charity. Without Johnny there, you can't have the shelter without her. It'll function. It's not going to function the way it was. Yeah. The assets are up. You've got a property that you own. You've got increased awareness. What is it that I don't get?
That's amazing for a charity. It's just amazing. I didn't realize they had that much money in the bank.
I had 2 goals for Operation Kindness during these years. 1, to make Operation Kindness simply the best animal shelter around, and 2, to raise money and move us into this wonderful facility. I leave knowing that not only I accomplished my personal goals for Operation Kindness, but far exceeded them as well. Although the future is uncertain, I'm leaving this organization financially healthier and more stable than it's ever been. This is a great solace. There's a great solace and consolation in that.
What?
I'm done.
Is there more there? Do you want me to read it?
Yeah.
Sure. I wish you all the best. I urge you to continue to care for the animals in the exemplary way that we always have. Remember the 13th golden rule, to treat each animal as if it was your own. Warmest regards. The picture for a kissing a puppy. Is that Mercy?
Yeah. Is the alcohol really out of the building?
Yeah.
Well, God.
You told him to.
Is it really all out?
Mm-hmm.
Is it your car?
Mm-mm.
Those were your rules. Don't have it in the car. Don't have it in the building.
Do you have the emergency flask as I commanded?
Yes, I do.
Where is that?
It's in my car.
Okay. I'd like that during the break.
You sure?
Yes.
Okay.
It's an emergency. Very tense. How we doing, Cliff?
Breaking 7.
All right, where's the audio of me from?
So, can I ask one more thing?
What?
What is the next step for you? Are you, as a board member, going to go talk with them?
We're going to request one more meeting, and if they dance around that one as well, then I'm going to go and I'm going to visit with each board member individually.
Okay.
And I'm going to do as much as I can legally to be a big pain in a pee hole. And I'll be that as long as I can without doing any damage to the shelter.
I understand. Okay.
And I'm going to run background checks on everybody. And I'm going to see if anybody's doing anything untoward now or if they've done anything in the past, because that's going to be my job as a pee hole irritator.
Very good. You do that very well.
Thank you. All right.
Hey, I don't know if you've ever been in market before, but awesome. Mandy and I decided I don't want to cook, so I got left her in there. I couldn't stay in there. We're going to go in and just get some pre-cooked stuff and then go home and do beef or whatever. You go in, it's a maze. As soon as you go in, you're forced through this maze. You got to go through produce and meat and whatever, and everything's backed up. And I don't know why tonight is like the big night for everybody, but it's just full of plus-size fat bitches. Damn it! And then you go up through, and because it's a maze and it's like one flow of traffic, you got a couple of fat bitches that want to go back the opposite direction. It's like, lady, you ain't no salmon. Go lay your eggs over with a rice-a-roni. And then there's this chick that's dressed like a whore. She's wearing a high-heel halter top, great big steak. Then you look over, she's got a shopping cart with her kid in it. Probably also got a food job. And there's one fat bitch. She's so fat, her belly hangs over her. How the did you get so fat your belly hangs over your? What does it look like?
The word there is poo nanny.
I understand. How do you get that fat?
She's shopping and she's got some guy with her, and they're looking at different things, and all I can do is focus on that gut that hangs down over her clam.
Oh.
How the did you get so fat your belly hangs over your? What does it look like when she pisses? You gotta look like a busted fire hydrant. And it was Mandy's idea to go in there. So when I come back to get her, she's gonna and I'm gonna her purse.
You're gonna do what in her purse? Oh, I see. I see. Well, that'll get back at her.
And she kept trying to talk me into staying. I can't stay with all these people. As soon as I walked in, I almost backed back out, but those freaking doors closed behind me. They do that on purpose.
Yes.
So then you're trapped in there with all the plus-size fat bitches.
Mm-hmm. I went in there one time to get some food, and I wanted to get some Diet Cokes. They got nectar from India. They got bee pollen poop, but they don't have no Diet Cokes.
Why'd you go in there for that? You get that at Tom Thumb.
I know, but I was getting they got some really nice meat.
I left that place, went to Tom Thumb, and wanted just to embrace all the employees.
I'm with you. I had to stop somewhere else to get Diet Cokes. Because they have a whole line of all kinds of exotic sodas, but I wanted to get some shrimp, so I got some shrimp there. And you
can get shrimp at Albertsons.
I know, but this was a special kind.
What kind of special shrimp?
It's they're deveined and stripped of the shell.
They got that at Kroger.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they do.
No, they really don't.
Yeah, they do. I got it in the freezer.
Were they frozen? Well, I don't know. Whatever. That's where Joy told me to go, so I went there. I figured I'd
She's dicking you around.
I figured I'd get everything I need. What kind of place don't carry Diet Coke?
What kind of place turns the thing into a maze so you got to go through?
Jacked. That's the jack part.
And the fat women that decided, oh, I've forgotten something, I got to go back upstream. No, you're not. There ain't no room for you, and if you're sitting on some fish eggs, go drop them off over there.
I need my Granny Smith apples, and they're over there.
Put your eggs in those. How long before we need a break?
4.
All right. Anything else before we get to news?
Oh, yeah. A couple things. Somebody says, Fonzie's coming to the Honorama. By the way, I think Chloe has an appearance there. You should get him on the show.
Henry Winkler?
Henry Winkler.
Why is he going to be at the Autorama?
I don't know. That's the third person that's told me that, though. Gavin,
I thought the Autorama circuit was when you're out of cash.
You know he doesn't need the cash. I don't know what it's for. But Gavin even mentioned it this morning in our meeting.
Gavin.
Yeah.
Are you trying to get Henry Winkler?
Yeah. I talked to the guy on Friday, and I followed up with an email today, and I have it on my calendar to call him tomorrow because he hasn't got back to me yet.
They say why he's at the Autorama?
I think they just hire people. It's him and Cindy Williams.
Well, I can understand her needing supplemental income.
Yeah.
But Henry Winkler, he was executive after Happy Days. He did movies. He produced, directed. He was the executive director for Hollywood Squares.
MacGyver.
He directed that.
And he was most recently on Arrested Development.
So why is he in a car show?
I don't know. They must have forked out some good money.
Wonder what that pays.
I would think you'd have to pay over a lot.
It would pay enough to make him care to get on an airplane.
Yeah.
Unless maybe he's marketing something associated with cars or something, and that's why he's doing it.
Oh. What'd you just send me in?
It's a list of appearances, guests that will be at Autorama. And there's one in particular you might be interested in.
The Tomater? What is that from?
No, not that. Look on the text immediately to the right.
The movie Cars.
The animated?
Yes.
They're going to have the Tomater there?
Guess so.
Well, they also have it at the top, which is where I would put it. You got to scroll down to get to Henry Winkler. Chris Jacobs, TV's overhauling. What's that on? RFD?
Yeah, probably. Motor Trend.
Jay Novacek. Rick Fairless. Who is that? Wrestler?
No.
That's a motorcycle show.
Who is that?
He builds motorcycles. He's got a show here on Sunday mornings.
All right.
Lee Harris.
The Sim Cycle Unicycle Show. That's going to be there.
Well, what time is that? Don't just leave us hanging.
Let's see. Hang on. Now I'm to Henry Winkler, Cindy Williams, Kim Tsai. I don't know who that is. Jimmy Shine from TV's Hard Shine. And George Barris, king of the customizers. He's the one that built the Batmobile. I've already talked to him, but you talking about George Barris?
Yeah, I figured you might be interested with him.
I'd rather meet the Tomater. Plus, we've had George Barris on the show 2 or 3 times. So what are the chances of getting Henry Winkler?
I'm trying to reach out to him. According to them on Friday, he was in the process of changing their flights. So I followed up today and said, has he changed them yet? If so, when's he coming to town? Because I want to get him in studio, not over the phone.
Yeah, I don't want any phoner.
Right.
Okay.
I'm going to bug him every day.
All right. Check on the Tomater as well.
Okay, I don't think he's coming, but I'll ask.
It says on here, Tomater. In person.
In person.
Let's see if I missed anything else. Jay Novacek, Burnout Contest. No, that looks like it. Well, you don't want to oversaturate people with excitement.
No, I can't take it.
All right.
And one more.
All right, hurry up.
Hey, Russ, last week you and Gavin were talking about when Gavin was interviewing for the job there, and you said that you and Gavin talked before he even had the job. You also said you always loved Bob McNeil. If that's true, then why didn't you give Bob the heads up that someone was interviewing for his job?
Wouldn't have done any good. Plus, I only got a couple of days' notice. You want to ruin Bob's weekend? Because I talked to Gavin on a Friday.
Yeah.
I've known when a lot of people were going to get popped. I didn't tell him. It ain't up to me.
No, the time.
Now, with McNeil, yeah, had I gotten a couple of weeks heads up, I would have told him. But it's a Friday. I'm not going to piss away his weekend knowing all this, knowing that it's going to come down on Monday. Yeah. What is it, Trey?
He kind of knew it was coming, though, didn't he?
Bob?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what the entire process was. And I'm surprised they wanted me to interview Gavin before they would hire him, which I still don't believe.
No, I was at the dinner when they said that to you.
That didn't make any sense. Why would you care what I think as far as hiring a program director?
Because you run the station.
I don't do anything. I come in here for 4 hours, I jack around, I go home. And now I can't even go home and drink.
Because you decided to quit. You run the station.
They knew if you were going to clash personalities with a new program director, that would make you unhappy, and they don't want that.
Well, they should have kept McNeil. He was easy to work with.
He was never here.
Well, that's what made it easy. There was never any controversy. Got a break here? Yes. All right, we'll be back.
We'll be back to the Russ Martin Show. Why would you listen to anything else? The Russ Martin Show. Now, back to the Russ Martin Show.
In the studio for, like 20 minutes.
Oh, longer than that.
Laughing at that clip. Just playing it over and over.
Bam! Oh! Feel my pimp hand. Bam! Oh!
All right.
Feel my pimp hand. Bam! Oh! Feel my pimp hand.
So now,
bam! Oh! Feel my pimp hand.
News is brought to us by.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see what else we did.
Bam! Feel my pimp hand. 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 Bam!
That's the worst day of my life.
I like that one.
Bam!
That's the worst day of my life.
Feel my pimp hand.
I like that as my ringtone. This is the worst day of my life.
Bam!
That's the worst day of my life.
Feel my pimp hand.
All right. Oh. Let me show you this. I found this a few weeks ago in the house. I think the maids left it because it was in a little cooler bag that you carry your lunch around in.
Yeah.
And I forgot about it. I found it in the laundry room today. Well, I had to dig through it to make to see who it was. I didn't know if somebody from the band or it was Amy's, but I think it was one of the maids.
Okay.
It's some type of wedding ceremony. The ceremony of marriage is not simply a social contract, it's a magical process, a crossing of threads and a fabric of fate. Many strands bring the people and their families together and spin their lives in a fabric that is woven on their children.
Sounds pretty.
The actual wedding ceremony. The altar and room is lit by a dozen black candles.
Uh-oh.
One red candle sits on the altar. Also incense, bell, or gong, one silver chalice, a short sword or dagger, a crystal ball or stone, wedding rings, and length of cord. I don't know what this word is. A baphomet?
You've got me on that one.
B-A-P-H-O-M-E-T.
That would be my guess.
One of those.
Okay.
Hangs on the wall behind the altar on the west wall.
This is black magic.
The bride and groom will be dressed or undressed according to... It also had a Post-it note stuck on it that had this website I haven't looked up yet. Dan, look this up.
Mm-hmm.
Just these letters. NAABT.org. Is it some type of satanic Wiccan site?
NAABT.org.
Yes.
It says the National Alliance of Advocates for buprenorphine treatment.
What is that?
I have no idea. Oh, here we go. Buprenorphine is an opiate medication used to treat opioid addiction in the privacy of a physician's office.
So somebody one of the maids is going through treatment for addiction.
Apparently some sort of opiate.
Well, a lot of people get hooked on drugs. What's the black magic thing?
I don't know, but aren't you concerned that the two of these go together?
Yes.
Now she's going through some type of opiate treatment. The bride and groom will be dressed or undressed according to their desires. A Baphomet amulet? Amulet? What is that?
Trinket type?
Symbol? Shall be worn around the neck. A selection of music shall be agreed upon by both bride and groom and played in the background as a bride and assembled guests enter. The groom stands next to the best man. Priest. This is what he says. And I can't read some of this. It's either Latin or it's Italian.
Okay.
In nomine di nostro Satanas Lucifero excelsi. I got the Lucifero.
Yeah.
The Luciferi. Oh, I'm sorry. Here's the translation.
Well, okay.
In the name of Satan, I call upon the forces of darkness and the infernal power within.
Great. So
Chuck, are these people bonded?
By somebody.
Are they bonded?
Yeah.
They have insurance and everything?
Yeah.
Would you like to hear the rest of the ceremony?
This is intriguing.
Consecrate this place with the power, love, and light of Lucifer. Join with us, we say, in the binding of these two who shall become as one. They desire to make their union a matter of record so that their friends in the society in which they live may bear witness and lend support. By these names, it says Diana, Adonis, Ishtar, and looks like Mickey Dolenz. By these and other names are divine lovers known. I invite the gods to come bless this union as we invoke the infernal names Aman, Astaroth, Ishtar, Mike Nesmith, Asimodeus, and Thoth. Oh, here's the best part. The congregation may repeat each name as it's spoken.
That is just spooky.
It's like 3 or 4 pages, and some of it's handwritten. But I didn't find anything else in the
Why
bag.
does she carry that around with her?
I don't know. And now she's, whoever it is, if it's one of the maids,
opiates,
then she has addiction.
Maybe it's time to have a news service.
I didn't even think to go through this stuff.
Well, you know, that's not Amy's, so sure as hell not yours. Who else would come in the house and do that?
What are you looking at, Dan?
I'm just trying to see if I can find anything online that...
As far as the satanic stuff?
Yeah.
Well, I don't care. They're not going to have it in my house.
They may already have.
And now I have a date set for my wedding.
Yes. Congratulations. I'm happy for you. When is it?
Shtick aside, I don't know.
What were you doing when you set the date?
Taking lorazepam.
Uh-oh. Well, normally that just makes you happy. And in a good mood. Were you drinking too?
Yes.
Oh, well then.
This was Friday night, and I knew when I got up Saturday I had done something. And I get a congratulation email from Rob on the wedding date.
How did he find out?
Obviously, Amy had already told somebody.
Oh, okay. She's excited. When is the date?
Seriously, I don't know. Chuck, just tell me this. Is it this year?
Yes.
Oh, God.
Is it soon
for you?
What?
Is it soon?
I don't know. Chuck, is it soon?
7 months.
September?
Is that right?
Yes.
All right, tell me the date.
27th.
September 27th. We got a date.
Is that a Saturday?
I didn't know.
Let me look.
It's got to be a Saturday.
I didn't ask her about it the next day because I figured.
Did she bring the date up, or did you? Obviously,
I don't know.
Remember at all how it happened?
I remember part of the conversation, and the only reason I remember it is because Rob's email reminded me something had happened.
It's
What?
Your birthday and her birthday.
Oh, that makes sense.
Why did I pick this year?
I don't know. As a fan.
Do you remember any part of the conversation?
No.
I'm happy for you, man. It's great. That's just about enough time. Normally they say 6 months minimum to plan a full-blown wedding, which I'm sure this is going to be.
I'm not doing it.
Horse-drawn carriages, honeymoons.
No, you're not going to sit there and weasel me into a date when I'm all doped up on lorazepam and, what's that cheap tequila? Hornitos.
What? Never even heard of it.
Yeah. We were out of the Jack and Crown. All we had was tequila. Hornitos. So I'm doped up on Hornitos and lorazepam.
And you got a date.
And that's probably your vacation. Our vacation would be that next week.
That's what I was saying. No, actually, our vacation normally is in the middle of the month, so we may have to push it back this year.
No, we're not going to have to move anything.
Well, you got to go on a honeymoon.
I'm not going anywhere because you have to have a wedding to have a honeymoon.
Sounds like you online to have a wedding.
No, because I'll get on the lorazepam and the Hornitos again and I'll cancel it.
Now let me ask you this question.
All right.
Are you sure you agreed to it, or did Amy finally learn that you're not going to remember? And she just said,
I remember that the conversation happened again only because I started getting email. I think I got one from Chuck as well. So I know it happened. I don't remember how we got there or why we would pick a date between her birthday and mine. And I don't know why I would pick one that this year.
It'll be over a year since your engagement.
And?
It's about right.
It's about time.
Luckily, I got the ceremony.
No, you're not doing a satanic ceremony.
Yeah.
You know, you get married at the house?
No, I'm not getting married anywhere.
The country club would actually be more convenient for everybody, better parking.
The part that said "Hey to Satan."
It's in one of the first paragraphs.
Priest. Yeah. In the name of Satan, I call upon the forces of darkness and the infernal power within.
To call this crap off.
And then Saturday, she goes and looks at wedding dresses.
Well, that's the normal first step. You want to get that done so you have time to...
You ever heard of the phrase, all dressed up?
Sure.
No place to go.
You'll go through.
No, I won't.
Why wouldn't you?
Because this makes me nauseous to talk about it.
Said the date. It's been over a year you've been engaged.
I can get married on that Saturday.
Why not?
We have band practice. Oh, band practice on Saturday. Chuck and Carlos were going at it.
I knew that was going to happen.
This was after almost everybody was gone because we had band practice here at the station. Carlos comes up. He said, "Can I ask questions now?" Because I guess Chuck had told him, "Don't stop band practice because you don't have your bass line down." So Carlos is pissed. He threw out band. Did he say anything before I got here? Because he was sure as hell was in a mood when I got here at like 11.
He's that way every day.
So he asked Chuck,
"That's all.
Can I ask questions now?"
Now. I can hear him say
Chuck
that.
said, "Well, why aren't you learning your stuff during the week?" Then they start going back and forth. I'm hauling an amp out. Carlos throws his cup of water at Chuck. I guess it was water.
Oh, my
at
God.
Chuck. Then I got to get between them. Now Carlos is mad at me because I sided with Chuck. I went, learn your stuff during the week. If I could practice and look up stuff online, you can learn a bass line. You got 4 strings, Junior.
Wow. That's out of control. This band is spinning. What is it, a month to White Trash?
I don't know.
5 weeks?
But the way Carlos talked on his way out, he quit.
He won't quit. He enjoys it too much.
What is he?
Well, why are you throwing water at people?
What's to enjoy? He comes up, he's pissy during band practice every week. He's not getting his stuff down, so obviously he doesn't enjoy the practicing aspect. Ryan, I know you play bass. Sit down. Well, what's the joy that you're getting out of
Must
this?
be
And then
something.
Chuck chews his ass every Saturday for not having his bass line down.
My point exactly. If he's putting up with all that, then he must enjoy. There must be some aspect of the band he really, really enjoys.
Then he's keeping it to himself.
Why would he just quit? He has no ties to the show. I mean, other than he's our doctor.
What, Trey?
Y'all are slowly becoming to realize I'm right. He's a seasucker.
God. Yeah, that's all Chuck said last week. Every time I bring it up, so band practice is Saturday. I don't have to be here, right? He goes, no, Carlos was going to go with you wherever the hell you're going to go.
Gavin.
Yes.
We're going to have to cancel for Nokia.
Why?
We don't have a bass player. I'm not kidding.
The band is in turmoil. We have to have some time off.
We'll be fine.
We lost our bass player.
He'll come back.
No, I don't know what he's going to do, but I'm not going to tolerate these fits every week and being pissy through the entire band practice and then just stand there and thump the same string when he doesn't know what the bass line is. And you guys had already convinced me you got to have a bass player in the band.
Yeah.
We got no bass player, so we're going to have to cancel Nokia.
No, let's work it out.
You can't work it out. Once these things start, it can't be undone.
We can have like a mini band meeting.
It's not going to change anything.
It might.
He's always...
How can the one guy that has the least, other than me, to do, be so pissy?
I don't know.
It's his nature.
And he'll start a bass line, a bass riff. Chuck will tell him that's the wrong one. Carlos will say, no, this is it. Chuck says, yeah, if we were playing this song, that would be the bass line. We've moved on 4 songs, and we're in C now.
God. I heard Chuck grumble about it all week last week.
And then the little brawl out in the lobby where we had band practice.
That's absurd.
Chuck said, why don't you take the time to learn your bass lines? Carlos threw the couple more at him. All right. Well, my money's on Chuck. Carlos is wiry.
Yes.
But Chuck is pissed off. So I got between them, and I said, he's right. You're not learning your stuff. Why don't you just go someplace? Well, maybe I won't come back. All right. Before you go, I need some script for Celebrates.
Before you disappear completely.
So, Gavin, we have to cancel.
No, we'll be fine.
We can't play without a bass player.
We can play with the bass player. And do I need to bring a fake plant on stage so you can spit into that one, too?
What's he doing?
Gosh, after you guys all left, I'm sitting there with paper towel cleaning the fake plant in the lobby.
You're spitting in the plants in the lobby?
I didn't have a cup.
Don't think I didn't see that. I saw it.
Get a cup.
How did you see it?
I saw it.
I pushed the plant around the corner.
Yeah, I know. And I went to, and I'm like, what the heck is that brown thing on the plant?
Oh, when you locked the front door?
Yeah, and I went to flick it, and it was one of your dips.
Oh.
That's good.
It's a fake plant. It's not going to do any damage.
No, but Jesus, man, I'll get you a cup.
Why don't you take it over to Neil Sperry, ask him what it is?
Oh.
There's something wrong with our plant. It's got a growth.
First of all, it's a fake plant.
You're good.
So, we have to cancel for
No, we're not going to cancel. We'll be fine. You want me to talk to him? I can talk to him.
You do whatever you want. That's not going to make him learn his part.
That is
And just the fact that he decides he's going to go with Chuck with his cup of water.
That is out of control. I can see it happening because he gets so passionate. I've been on the phone with him talking about band practice. So I was band practice. Oh, Jesus. Well, what? That Chuck, he's all over me. And I'm doing it right.
No, he's not.
Well,
and he likes to keep his amp higher than everybody else so you can hear when he's wrong. So I'll acquiesce. Yeah, you can tell that there's a bass player in a band when they're playing the wrong notes.
Loud.
Sorry, Gavin, we're going to have to move the date.
Come on. No, we got it locked in. We're good to go.
You signed a contract yet with Nokia?
No, I'm just getting it back from legal.
No. Well, don't sign it.
Well, they've already reserved the date. They're good people over there. I don't want to screw them.
And what are we going to do? You have just somebody thump on the side?
Yep.
We got to have somebody driving the what does the bass player do?
Thump on the side.
We have to have somebody to keep the low end there. Sorry.
Can Chuck do the low end?
No, he's playing keys.
You got to be able to fight. We can figure something out.
No, bass players. That's a. You can't just grab one off the street. Sorry.
No.
Ready for news, Dan? Sure. All right. Let me know what other date you come up with Nokia.
Let me call.
All right. We have time for news? All right, 4:42. Dan O'Malley's here with news.
Thank you, Russ. Is brought to us by Autorama at the Dallas Market Hall, where Chloe will be this Sunday from 2 to 4 p.m. That's at Dallas Market Hall for Autorama. Monday, February 11, 2008. Birthdays today. Brandy turns 29. Jennifer Aniston is 39. Sheryl Crow, 46. Jeb Bush, 55. Burt Reynolds turns 72. Tina Louise from Gilligan's Island is 74. And Leslie Nielsen turns 82. And Roy Scheider, Chief Brody in Jaws, has died at the age of 75. The cause of death has not been released, but Scheider had been treated for multiple myeloma at a hospital in Little Rock for the past 2 years. Scheider's claim to fame will always be starring in Hollywood's first summer blockbuster, Jaws, back in 1975. It was the first movie to earn $100 million at the box office.
When did he die? Today or yesterday?
I think it was yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And
I found it too late.
Yeah, I almost sent you an email. Don't bother.
I think he'd been sick for a long time. He had won an award for something last year and couldn't make it because of whatever he had.
What is that? Anybody know?
What does it say he had, Dan?
It was myeloma.
That bone cancer?
I think so. But it's just multiple myeloma.
Yeah. Okay.
An Allen man convicted of attempting to hire someone to kill his pregnant wife received a 30-year sentence today.
And his wife was still asking for probation for him in the courtroom.
So you can think about my kids. Don't think about him. They need a daddy.
The guy wanted you dead. Wanted you and your unborn baby dead.
Now, the only word they're going on, it has to be more than that one guy that was in the house.
I don't know. What else does the story say?
Well, as far as...
If they gave him 2 30-year sentences, you're right. It's got to be more than just a hitman saying, here's what happened.
I believe there were cell phone records that they traced that they had talked.
Okay, that still doesn't mean that's what he was talking to him about.
No, he said him and that guy were in cahoots, but it was an insurance scam of some type.
Right. The husband wanted to have her knocked off, and then he's the beneficiary. Go ahead, Dan.
Mrs. Johnson Sterling, who, like you mentioned, testified during the sentencing hearing, asked that her husband be given probation. She said, I ask you to hear me as a mother. Take into consideration my 2 sons, and they need their daddy, she said, her words muffled by her sobbing. Forget all about the other witnesses. Forget about all that. Think about my boys.
This chick is a fool.
Again, has to be more than that.
Not only was he trying to have her killed, he was having an affair, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
And she overlooks the affair. Obviously, I can deal with that. But how do you overlook the other one?
So he's trying to kill you and your baby.
And it's all part of an insurance scam.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I can think of is she must be in
denial.
The biggest case of it I've ever seen or heard of.
Well, they showed video of her when the police told her about the scheme, and she broke down. Maybe she's never come to terms with it.
Very possibly. But, yeah, there's got to be a lot of evidence lined up.
And if you get him out on probation, the only thing that you got going for you is he's probably not going to have you pop now because he's going to become, obviously he's the prime suspect.
He's the only suspect, yeah.
But you're still going to have that in the back of your head the entire time that he's with you. And if you get in an argument, how does that play out?
Every time you go to sleep.
No, you're right. No matter which way she would go, she would probably still have that fear. Whether he was in jail, he could find a way still to get at her, even in jail or even on probation, like you just said. They get in a fight. What happens?
I think you're right, Dan. It's just complete abject denial. And you can't believe that your husband would do that. Forget the evidence. Forget everything that came up, phone records, whatever else they got to give him 2 30-year sentences. And you want him off because you got kids?
Yeah, and typically...
I thought that was funny that the jury went, screw you. Yeah. We were just going to give him 5 years.
I was just going to say real quick, I would think typically denial is more of a subconscious thing. You're not really aware of it. Whereas in this case, it's almost like she is absolutely aware of it and chooses to ignore it. Because she's getting inundated with all this stuff. He's like, nope, didn't happen. I don't believe it.
Well, you also don't know any conversations that she had with her husband after all of this transpired. If he was able to squirrel his way out of it with some type of rationale. I don't know what you tell her. I just wanted him to slap you around.
Just wanted you to be scared. The guy got in the house somehow.
But there still has to be something else more tangible than just
somebody's word.
Testimony.
No, you're right. There has to be, and they just don't mention it in this stuff.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. Well, controversy related to Scientology was recently put into the national spotlight by some of its more famous members. A Dallas woman's death was one of the focuses of a group of North Texas critics that picketed at an East Dallas corner on Sunday. More than 100 people concerned of the religion picketed in front of the Church of Scientology in the 1800 block of North Buckner Boulevard to point the public's eye towards the death of Lisa McPherson. Today is Lisa McPherson's birthday, said one masked protester who wished not to be identified. Today she would be 40. McPherson, a Dallas native, died in the care of Scientologist church staffers back in 1995. The Church of Scientology in Clearwater was charged with criminal neglect and practicing medicine without a license. And they say just go to whyaretheydead.net, and that will help you learn about a lot of the people and the causes of their death and their suspicions around it, this according to the mass protesters.
I went to that site and printed out 36 pages of people that died under suspicious terms within the church.
Lisa McPherson, 36, on December 5, 1995. Lisa died. Scientology had held her against her will for 17 days. During that time, she tried to leave, became violent, refused to eat. At the time of her death, she had bruises. Who's breathing into the mic? And it just stopped. So somebody's doing it. Is it you, John?
It must have been. I don't know. I'll take it. I'll take the hit.
At the time of her death, she had bruises and abrasions on her body, and she had lost over 30 pounds in just 17 days. Herbert Pfaff. According to the records, Herbert died August 28, 1988, during the night from heavy epileptic attacks. He had hit his head on the night table. The Scientology doctor reports he prescribed vitamins for his patient. Despite regular attacks, instead of treating him with proper medication. Such medication was indeed not detected in his blood during the post-mortem examination.
So does anybody know, is this like who's the other church, Church of Christ? Is it the people that don't believe,
just say what you're trying to say.
They don't believe in any kind of medicine other than just vitamins and minerals.
I know who you're talking about. I thought
Christian Scientists.
Yeah, Church of Christian Science.
Right.
Yeah. Joseph Haveneth. An autopsy report lists his death as probable drowning, but notes that his head was not underwater. He died February 1980 at the Scientology Fort Harrison Hotel in a bathtub filled with water. So hot, it burned his skin off. I gotta sneeze. All right. And there were how many people on this?
That's 36 pages. There's a couple of, and these are just the ones that are reporting.
Gabriella Bramucci. Tests showed that the cancer started in the breast, had moved to the liver on August 6th. She went back to the hospital where she died. She died, says Macchialato, because she didn't follow treatment. Dianetics. Well, whoever practices Dianetics, the word is, can act like this. According to them, every disease is psychosomatic, and they treat it with a touch assist. And so at the age of 55, my wife died. And that's the same thing Tom Cruise has been talking about. You've got whatever Brooke Shields went through.
Postpartum depression.
Right. That's got nothing to do with medication. It's not some type of chemical imbalance. I know you don't.
Yeah. Matt Lauer, you don't know what you're talking about.
Even though Brooke Shields started on the medication, and then everything was copacetic.
Yeah. They think psychiatry is basically just a sham.
And you can touch heel.
Do we need a break? I like the one was having the epileptic seizures, and they give him some vitamin C. Forget about the concussion the guy's got as well. He's obviously going to continue to have those seizures.
B12.
Giving him a Flintstones is not going to correct it. All right, we'll be back.
To the Russ Martin Show. Now, back to the Russ Martin Show.
Traffic. Hello, Gail.
Howdy, Russ.
What do you got?
Reliant Energy, and a lot of problems have cleared up, except the one in Allen, that motorcycle wreck northbound 75 at McDermott. The exit ramp is still blocked, and traffic is now backed up to Park Boulevard. Care Flight's already left the scene. Southbound 635 at La Prada in Mesquite, they cleared the wreck. Backed up to Forest Lane in Dallas, though. And southbound Simmons crawling from Commonwealth to Industrial in the Mixmaster. I'm Gail Lightfoot on the Russ Martin Show.
Thanks, Gail. All right, 55 for the low tonight, to only 57 for the high, and then warming up again toward the end of the week. 71 now at Live 105.3.
I'm going to have to get rid of this band.
Why?
Or I'm going to quit.
You're not going to quit the band. You are the band.
I still like the idea of kicking myself out.
You can't do that.
Why not?
We're not going to practice and have a band without you. The hell would come see us? The Russ Martin Show band without the Russ Martin.
I just play the guitar and stand in the back. I don't do anything. Everything else is the freak show.
You sing, you play guitar, it's your band.
But every Saturday, and I don't know why, Chloe, when you DJ parties, does anybody ask for any Aretha Franklin?
Every once in a while, someone will ask for respect. And that is it. That's only, what other songs does she have?
She did,
Freeway of Love?
Yeah. That's a party tune.
Yeah, that's not, for the two of the chicks in the band, the backup singers,
right,
want to do Chain of Fools every week. They're in the background. Why can't we add that one? I don't like it, and I don't care for it.
Stop right there.
The idea when we're picking songs is songs that you want to play at a party. Nobody wants to do this song. You wouldn't want to hear it at a party. I want to do Chain of Fools.
You know why?
Perhaps I'll chain you to one.
Because it starts off with them in the spotlight. Chain, 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 that whole thing. Does
it start out a cappella?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's why.
No. Then you have them, and I even told them, all right, anybody that'll give me a blowjob, I'll consider songs.
Just consider.
Yes.
Here.
Just one, or every time you perform it?
No, every time we add a song.
Okay.
So far, I'm blowless.
Chain of Fools is not
I bet it's not even in the Jack Library, is it?
I bet it's not. You might catch it on K-Love.
I have it, but it's not, because there was a movie called The Commitments.
I can't stand the song. And then Chris from Vert Biz, the one that wants to be the
rock star.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He sends me an entire disc of songs that he wants to do. So when you got enough songs, the fact that I let you do any of them, because nobody really knows who you are. They want to see Gavin, they want to see Everett, whatever, people they know on the show. Sure. You're our internet service provider. I let you in the band because you can play horns. I gave you a song to sing with Gavin just to keep you quiet.
And he does a good job. But he just transforms into this rock monster. He does. There's something.
No, you can stop there. That's the epitome of the description for him. He's a rock monster.
Yeah, he totally is. He goes from his mild mannered little computer guy to wow.
And when he does, what do we have him sing?
Talk Dirty.
Yeah, Poison. All sides of the stage.
All over.
He's sending me Poison videos. Why don't you play the guitar like this? Not the style, but there's, I don't Chloe, who played lead guitar in Poison?
Oh, dude, CC DeVille.
Okay. CC is playing, what video did he send me? Nothing But a Good Time.
Okay.
There's like a 1.5-second clip of CC on the side of the stage going like this. Playing. Mm-hmm. He's going.
Kicking one foot out to the right.
Almost hitting himself in the head with his left leg, just kicking it. He goes, why don't you try that? Pass.
Yeah, CC is like what's Angus Young on crack, basically.
I don't even know how he does that with his leg. He kicks his right leg up and almost hits himself in the head, and he's playing.
Chris is so
I can't play sitting down.
Chris gets into it in rehearsal. It's not just on stage.
Oh, it's the soul of a 80s hair band.
He's a rock monster. Mm-hmm. Would you like to hear some of his suggestions?
Oh, sure.
All right.
Saturday night, I like to make my girl, but right now I gotta make ends meet. Yeah, I'm always working, saving every day, trying to get a break from the same old.
He got these karaoke versions so I could hear what it would sound like.
With him, I understand.
just to get away. If you could hear me think, this is what I say. Don't need nothing but a good time. How can I resist? Ain't looking for nothing. I wanna rock. I wanna rock. I want to rock.
And you know he sits at home and does this.
I wanna rock.
There we go.
What was that?
Was that him?
Yeah.
I thought that was you.
No. The ooh.
Yeah.
I wanna rock.
There we go.
Turn it down, you say. Well, all I got to say to you is time and time again I say no. No, 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 no. Tell me.
There he comes.
Oh.
Out of the cave.
Obviously, this is his release because all he does all week is work with servers, clients, anything
Computers.
dealing with the internet and
Right.
service.
This is his way of getting away and cutting loose. His inner soul come out.
To say to you is time and time again I say no. No, 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 no. Tell me not to play. Well, all I got to say when you tell me not to play, I say no. No, 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 no.
Next track.
Okay. Oh, God.
Is this Shout at the Devil?
I can't tell.
It should be.
Oh.
What's the matter, Chloe?
Stop it.
I'm about to sing this.
I'm going to sing this. Stand by.
White Trash 2008. This is how we do it. Somali Crew. Shout! 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 Shout at the devil!
He's patented that little jump, but we're only grown man I know that can jump straight up, kick both feet out to one way, and come back down and land on his feet.
Yeah.
He's a bloodstain on the stage. He's a tear in your eye. Tempted by his lies. He's a knife.
Yeah, if you go look at the pictures on my website of the band, almost every picture of Chris, he's
in the air.
Yeah.
Levitating.
But in the seasons of the weather, we're standing to live and be strong. And shout, shout. Now listen up. She's a razor sharp.
What is this?
What's the kill?
If she don't get her way, she'll slice you apart. Now she's a cool black, and she moves like a cat. If you don't get her game, well, you might not make it right. Ow! She's got the looks that kill. Ow! That kill. She's got the looks that kill. Ow!
Even more?
Just a...
After midnight, rocking till the dawn, loving till the morning.
I like this one. We already do this one.
This one, yeah.
I took the city about 1 a.m.
Gavin do this one too?
He used to.
I'm geared up to score again. Loaded. I come alive.
Yeah.
Nah, not happening.
You got enough songs.
Why are you taking away my song?
You got Bitches Back. You got Crocodile Rock. You got The Lover Boy. You got Babamba.
Yeah?
You got plenty of songs.
Why are you taking away my songs?
It's only one of them. Plus, he's better. And he's a rock monster.
Yeah, he is.
You're not a rock monster.
What are you talking about?
No.
I fly around that stage.
But not rock monsterish.
More like a lizard.
Okay. Well, that's a first for me.
What'd you do?
Blue chaw out my nose.
We have some paper towels in the back.
A rock lizard. Sorry, Gavin.
No.
I mean, you've got the Rob Halford persona, but Chris can actually sing this.
Wow.
That took me a couple seconds to go. Rob Halford. Oh, yeah.
What?
I have no other songs where I can take my shirt off.
Yeah, I know. Nobody likes that.
People pay for that stuff.
No. You're scaring the straights.
I'm not scaring the straights.
See what the last track is. I forget.
No.
Let's see how it does.
I remember when rock was young.
Oh, he's a lot better.
Yeah.
He had so much fun. Holding hands.
Flo, you're up here on Saturdays while we're practicing in the lobby. You've heard Gavin on this song.
I've heard him better.
Is he on key?
From where I'm standing, sometimes.
I'm on key.
No. Because
He was better this week than last week.
I've come in a couple of times late. You guys are practicing it. I can hear it in the distance, and it really sounds like somebody's doing a spay and neuter clinic. And I can't tell if you're pre or post op.
No.
Had an old gold Chevy and a place of my own. But the biggest trip that I ever.
All right, Rock Monster got a couple of your songs.
Oh my God, this is ridiculous.
We'll add something else for you. You like Love Shack?
I always say I'll sing whatever I want, but to make the costume, the glasses, the glitter, the spin.
What about Rock Lobster? Is that a party song?
Yeah, somewhat.
But Love Shack?
Love Shack, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Or Groove is in the Heart.
Yeah, Delight. Is that right?
Delight? That don't look like Delight.
I like that one.
Put on some go-go boots and a big wig.
Yeah.
No.
Delight.
No.
How's that go?
Dig.
Groove is in the heart.
See if it's in the Jack Library.
Was a thing called the crocodile rock. While the other kids were rocking round the clock, we were hopping and bopping to the crocodile rock. Yeah, we're crocodile rocking and it's something shocking when your feet just can't keep still.
You find it?
Yeah.
We're going to dance. We're going to dance. We're going to dance and have some fun.
Is it some chick with big hair that sings that?
Yeah. And a little Oriental guy with big glasses on.
Bootsy Collins plays the bass in it.
Who's that?
He's kind of like just a groove funk guy.
Hey, we can dress Carlos up like a little Asian guy.
Gavin's got the high pitch like that. Look at that.
All right, Gavin, there's your new song.
Oh, no.
Big.
I just got down Crocodile Rock.
You got the words down. All right, there's your new song, Delight. Ready for news, Dan?
Yeah.
Okay. Do we have time?
Yes.
All right, 522. Dan O'Malley's here with news.
Thank you, Russ. Democrat Barack Obama has a narrow lead over John McCain in a potential presidential matchup, while Hillary Rodham Clinton is about even with the Republican frontrunner.
I'm sick of him. I'm sick of her. And I'm really sick of the rest of them. Because the rhetoric that's coming out of all of them is almost... I'll bet you could go back and pull campaign speeches from 50 years ago, and it would be the exact same garbage.
It's all they all ever say is time for a new America, time for a new direction.
Yes, we can.
Even
what? All right. Yes, we can. How?
That's a secret. We'll find out after you elect me.
I want to know exactly what you're going to do. If you're going to pull the troops out of, where are we? Iraq. If you're going to pull the troops out of there, I want to know a timeline. I want to know if you plan on doing it immediately. You're going to do a phase-out program. I want to know. I want to know how you're going to cut taxes. I want to know how you're going to cut wasteful spending. This is the same crap that you get out of everybody nonstop.
And then they get in and they go, well, it takes time. You got to relax. It takes time. In fact, it takes 2 terms.
It takes time because you don't have a plan.
I have a plan, but I'm not going to tell you what it is until I'm in the office. It's because I don't want the other guy to steal it.
It's just broad stroke. I'm going to throw out as many things as I can, and hopefully it's going to appeal to enough people.
I hear Hillary go just one more time say, no matter what we do, we know this is this a failed administration. And I'm not going to get on Bush. I'm sure he's made a lot of mistakes, but my God, look what this man has put up with in 8 years. Besides hurricanes and shuttle disasters and a war and being attacked. Those are just the ones that come to the top of my mind.
Hey, you go back. Well, he blew 9/11. Well, Hillary, sweetie, this was part of your husband's fault.
Exactly. They didn't
plan all this in a course of 9 months. A lot of this was going on during the Clinton administration. But you take that out of the equation. When she said, well, if I knew then what I know now. Nobody knew then. We really thought there were weapons of mass destruction. Everybody wanted to go. Yeah. We were emotional. We wanted to blow somebody up. You don't care if it was Austria. We just wanted somebody to eat it.
Switzerland's got to get it.
It didn't make any difference. Everybody was emotional. That's why the Patriot Act was passed.
With a bunch of fluff in it.
We overreacted, but we also lost 4 planes, thousands of people. We wanted something to happen. We went into Baghdad, and you saw the shock and awe. And because that doesn't happen every day, the people have lost interest, and Bush's approval rating is in the 20s.
And again, all those other little wars that we went in, and it was a tidy up. It was a 3 or 4 or 5 day deal, and we were done. That's what I think people expected in Iraq.
Well, after you saw what happened in Baghdad, you really thought, all right, they weren't jacking around when they said the shock and the awe.
Well, the military.
You got that. You watched the bombs over Baghdad. All right, this is probably going to take the weekend.
Maybe I'll give it a week and a half.
But you going to say something, Trey?
People don't have the stomach for a ground war. Everything's been so neat and clean since Vietnam, especially Gulf War I. That was great TV.
You show those videos of the rockets going right where they were aimed, and the little TV camera shows the thing blow up. And our guys are still up in airplanes safe. How come more people are on the ground getting shot now? That's the way they're doing it. And the Democrats are beating this to death. Failed war. Well,
the problem is, even if it was a bad idea to go in, once you got in there, you can't just yank them back out because you've already demolished their infrastructure.
Mm-hmm.
Infrastructure. Thank you. And you can't just go in, tear everything up, blow it up, and go, all right.
As far as I know, that's Obama is the one that wants to get him out quickest.
He said he'll have all the troops out within 12 months.
And every military expert that I hear speak anyway says that it can be done, should not be done.
No. It would leave Iraq in chaos. And
eventually that would affect us again.
Oh, yeah.
And they had primaries, Saturday night?
Saturday and then tomorrow.
Obama was going through the rhetoric. I like him. Seems like a good guy. But when you throw out the same crap nonstop, either you give me details or you shut up.
They're never going to give you details because then they have to follow up on it, like you said before. Then they get in the office, and now I have sound clips I can throw back at you. Excuse me, Hillary, when you said this, how come this is not being done? And
why do we still have the wasteful spending? Well, there are different layers to this, and it's a lot more complicated. Exactly. We knew that when you were running for the office. Nobody's going to really do anything dramatically different. Stick somebody in there. Have a poll. Do some kind of bingo.
You get in the office, B-24.
What is going to change dramatically?
With the Democrats, probably their biggest issue, you have 2 big issues, healthcare and immigration. Both Hillary and Obama they say they have plans for universal health coverage.
All right.
Now, is anybody against that anywhere?
Yeah.
I don't like it because it's probably going to come out of my pocket.
It is going to come out of your pocket.
I don't want that.
Well, but you get people that don't have health care. Millions in this country. And
that's why you die.
That's not the way we do things in this country. You don't just get sick.
That is the way that we do things in this country. That's why we don't have universal health care.
I think more people are for that than are against it.
How do you pay for it?
Yeah.
Well, again,
we're going to pay for it. And if you're going to have universal health care, you can't cut taxes. That's true. The two don't sync up.
Unless you slice it somewhere else, you're right. Oh, hell, budget. Why even talk that? You're talking like you're running a household here. We just go print more cash.
No, that was pretty succinct when you just went, hell, budget.
I almost started to make sense. Like, well, if we cut here, then we can. That's the way I run my house. Not the way we run this country.
And Obama and Hillary probably will roll back Bush's tax cuts.
Roll back as in what?
Taxes will be higher again.
Why do you say that?
Because if you're going to have a bunch of social programs, you've got to pay for it. And
unless you cut back someplace else, the only place to go to is me. Mm-hmm. And I don't want you to have those things. I like it when the private sector steps in and helps people out. It's like the Khan Academies. They take cars that nobody wants to do anything with. They sell them. They help these kids out. They help people that actually want to do something. These social programs just further people who don't want to do nothing.
Want to sit around and just suck off the government. That's going to continue.
I'd
like to see somebody come in with that kind of a program. Cutting off, deal with welfare.
You make everything finite.
Yes.
All right, something's happened. Here's some assistance. We'll give you this amount of time to get things straightened out. But you're not going to live in government housing. You're not going to live in trailers or whatever for 3 or 4 years after a disaster and still complain because you haven't had time to restructure. You've had enough time. Structure.
You live on You Suck Street, as you said. There's You Suck Avenue. There's You Suck Circle.
There are plenty of places for you to suck. I'm tired of you sucking off the government. If the private sector wants to help you out, I'm okay with that.
But that's been there forever.
Yeah, you already have a built-in class now that they can't function without the government.
Katrina put the flashlight on that.
And that's going to continue.
Oh, yeah.
All right. How are we doing, Chloe?
Breaking 2.
Go ahead, Dan.
As The Nation reported on Monday, Barack Obama was the only presidential candidate to tape a rebuttal to President Bush's State of the Union for YouTube, and apparently it's paying off. By Tuesday afternoon, Barack Obama's response to Bush's final State of the Union was the most watched clip in the world, drawing over 300,000 views in just under 20 hours. The public has shown overwhelming and sustained interest in hearing from Obama directly. This is the third Obama video to shoot into YouTube's top 3 in just the past 10 days.
Pull the audio from that. It's on 15. It's 4 minutes long, but it gives you a taste of. I'm surprised more people don't do this as a way to get out the message without having to buy TV time.
Tonight, for the 7th long year, the American people heard a State of the Union that didn't reflect the America we see and didn't address the challenges we face. But what it did do was give an urgent reminder.
The thing that he's got going for him, not in this clip, but Saturday night, he started to take on an MLK type delivery.
Mm-hmm. I saw that.
And that becomes inspirational, and you get behind it. Again, you're not telling me anything. At least Martin Luther King had things that he wanted to do. He had a plan and got a lot of those things accomplished. Just giving me vague references. Yeah, the blue sky. That's not going to clean anything up.
Has anybody other than Bush Sr. ever come up with something during the campaign that they did? I mean, Bush Sr. did that,
1,000 points for life.
Yeah, and all that
no
stuff.
New taxes.
Mm-hmm.
And then they came back and shoved it up his colon.
Read my lips. And we did.
Yeah.
Why it's so important to turn the page on the failed politics and policies of the
past. Turn the page, yes, we can.
And change the status quo in Washington so we can finally start making progress for ordinary Americans.
Okay.
Tonight's State of the Union was full of the same empty rhetoric the American people have come to expect from this president.
All right, so what do we do?
We heard President Bush say he'd do something to cut down on special interest earmarks.
Not him. What do you do?
But we know these earmarks have skyrocketed under his administration.
All right, and you're going to fix that.
We heard the president say he wants to make tax cuts for the wealthiest Americans permanent.
I like that.
When we know that at a time of war and economic hardship, the last thing we need is a permanent tax cut for Americans who don't need them and weren't even asking for them.
I don't care for you.
What we do need is a middle-class tax cut, and that's exactly what I will provide as president.
See? Again, you go for the broad base, the broad stroke. I want this for the middle class. I want this for the working class. You're going to appeal to them. people aren't going to do any research. They're not going to go on the web and find out what Obama's actual policy is, what his plans are. Hillary. You just want the pretty pictures. You want the blue skies. He's going to do this. He's talking about me, the middle class. I'm the guy out doing something. I don't want the upper class to have any benefits of being rich. What kind of crap is that you don't want anybody else?
Well, because that's such a small percentage of the population. That's why. But you don't even vote. Well, you care.
Why? Why would I?
Well, some people believe it does.
I voted for... who's that sawed-off guy?
Perot.
Yeah. I voted for him.
Well, how many years ago was that?
Mid-90s.
Okay. In that time, maybe to step up and... You're being...
I don't like any of these people, and I don't want to vote for somebody just because you're the last man standing. This isn't King of the Hill. It's President of the United States.
I'm actually with you in this case. I don't have a clue as to who I'll vote for. Not a clue.
And the theory of, well, if you don't vote, you can't complain. Yes, I can.
Well, you can.
We heard the president say he has a stimulus plan to boost our economy. But we know his plan leaves out seniors and fails to expand unemployment insurance.
All right, so you're going to...
And we know it was George Bush's Washington that let the banks and financial institutions run amok and take our economy down this dangerous road. What we need to do now is to put more money in the pockets of workers and seniors and expand unemployment insurance for more...
I believe
this is exactly
kitten over there.
What's the matter, Trey?
Because people don't understand it and they listen to him.
You don't have to understand. All you have to do is take it at face value because, like I said, people aren't going to... I'm not going to research, and I'm not going to research because I'm not going to vote. But go ahead.
It's the Senate who does the earmarks on bills. It's the Senate who loosen financial rules. It's not just Bush. He's a senator. He's part of it, too. But it's amazing how they talk and
Well, when you're running for president, any failures over the past 7-8 years, you're going to point at the administration, not at the Senate or anything that you're involved with, because then you got to answer questions, and that eats up time. And then you got to come up with reasons.
Let's come up with answers.
More people. And
anyway, what I was going to say, this is exactly the same campaign speech you would have gotten from the car in every garage to 2 chickens in every pot.
Mm-hmm. In the 50s.
Want to put more money back into the working man's pocket. All right?
That's middle class, that's you.
That's a great way to play it, and you want to cut spending, and you want to cut taxes. But nobody does it. I don't care whether it's Bush, Clinton, whoever you like, nobody's done it. You've got a structure that's beyond controllable. You can't, there's no way to even imagine where you're going to start or get control of all these different agencies. You can't do it. We've grown too big. It's too late. Let it go. Just let us
waddle off into space?
Yes.
No, I don't believe so. Greatest country in the world. Still, even with all our problems.
You're a fool.
I'm not a fool. Name one that you'd rather live in.
I wouldn't want to live anywhere else, but we've got too many problems. We would have to start.
Right.
We'd have to start over.
You're right. We will, but we're going to continue.
More time. And I have a plan to do just that.
All right. Okay, here it is.
And finally, tonight we heard President Bush say that the surge in Iraq is working, when we know that's just not true. Yes, our valiant soldiers have helped reduce the violence. 5 soldiers gave their lives today in this cause, and we mourn their loss and pray for their families. But
I also like it when they throw into their speeches, and like the family that I met in New Hampshire. You ain't met nobody. Shut up.
Yes, I did.
And they have to go back, and it makes them seem like they're approachable. That's the word of the people, because I met these people, this family,
I mourned with them.
And they need this. They don't have the cash, and I told them, here's what I'm going to do. I have a plan. I'm not going to tell you, because you probably have a MySpace page.
Bill Clinton revolutionized politics in how they campaigned, because that's all he did. He threw out great, big, wonderful images of what he wanted to do and what he said he would do.
That's what it's always been.
But no details.
You don't have to, because people will nail you on details, and you got to go back later and be accountable for it. There'll be no details. There'll be no plans. Can't.
I just like how we get right to the point. He goes, I have a plan.
Yeah.
Now, in wrapping up here.
You want a break here? All right, we'll be back. Does he say anything else here? Nah, just rabble. All right.
We'll be back to the Russ Martin Show.
to the Russ Martin Show.
Hello, Gail.
Hello, Russ.
What do you have?
I've got Kaufman Tire and messes on LBJ. In Mesquite on southbound LBJ at I-30, there's a wreck in the right lane. Now, that traffic's been pretty much backed up to Forest Lane, and then there was a wreck at Forest, eastbound 635 before Forest. The HOV in left lane's blocked, so you're backed up past Central. Then there was one eastbound LBJ at the tollway. They got that cleared up, but it's just not much fun trying to travel eastbound LBJ. In Burleson, southbound 35, both directions at Renfro, your left lane is blocked. There's a grass fire, and officials are still on the scene. And I'm Gail Lightfoot on the Russ Martin Show.
Thanks, Gail. Not too bad tonight. 55 for the overnight low, then only 60 for the high tomorrow. 71 degrees now at Live 105.3. You okay?
My salad had jalapenos on it.
I can smell them all the way over here. You gonna be all right?
We got any milk?
I don't think so.
No.
Anybody got the brines?
No. No.
We need something mushy.
Think we have anything mushy for you?
All right, Dan, do news.
Okay.
Maybe this will go out.
Just as the Dallas Fire Rescue is readying itself to ask for donations to buy needed equipment, some may be wondering why the city council is spending tens of thousands of dollars for art at fire stations. However, the stations aren't the only spots the city is spending for art. The city of Dallas is spending millions on public art, some of which doesn't even work all over. Dallas taxpayers didn't just pay.
I think the Dallas Police Department has some big art sculpture hidden someplace. Nobody really sees it. It's like in the foyer of the police department. I don't know what they spent on it, but nobody wanted it.
Who's passing this? Somebody must be agreeing to it.
Same people that agreed to pay $60,000 to figure out how to gorilla climbed out of a cage.
Well, was that a Laura Miller decision, Trey, or do you know?
I was underheard.
She defended it.
Yeah.
We had to spend the money. We had to do something. We had to do it immediately.
Yeah.
You don't have to do it immediately. The zoo didn't shut down after the shooting of the gorilla. That section was closed. Yep. Either stick some stuffed ones out there or stick some old fellers.
How about just you shut that down for a year? Nobody's not going to come to the zoo because the gorillas are,
because the exhibit's closed.
Right.
No, we had to do that, and we didn't have time to price or get different bids, so we paid $60,000 to find out the gorillas run and jump. Thank you. It's going to be the same thing with this. Go ahead, Dan.
Yeah, however, the stations aren't the only spots in the city is spending for art. The city of Dallas is spending millions on public art, some of which doesn't even work. Dallas taxpayers didn't just pay for the new $11 million building when the South Central Police Station opened last year. They also paid for the art that went inside the main lobby floor. Perspective. That's the piece. That's what it's called. It was created by a Massachusetts artist.
Is that what you're talking about?
Possibly. Where'd they hide it?
Well, this one's in the main lobby floor.
City Hall?
No, the South Central Police Station.
Oh, yeah, a lot of people see that there. A lot of people that are being booked. So really the only people that are enjoying the art are the criminals.
As they're arrested. Well, that's nice.
I love getting arrested in this town.
I don't feel as sad. Things are looking I got sunshine. Go ahead.
But here, even if people noticed it, they wouldn't see the $165,000 public art project because water droplets cover the inside of the glass cover. That's for the perspective. It's one of the latest taxpayer-funded art projects.
We can't see the piece of art because of condensation?
Yeah.
Yeah. They haven't figured out how to keep that from happening.
Turn the water off.
Get the Rain-X. go to Pep Boy.
Yeah, Rain-X would work.
Yes, it would.
Why don't you just turn the water off?
Well, I think that's part of the display.
Well, if you can't see it, it doesn't make any difference.
But that's the whole idea. Maybe the droplets were part of the artist's idea.
You want to see condensation? Turn the AC down.
Go get the Rain-X. It's $3.95 at Pep Boys.
Perspective is one of the latest taxpayer-funded art projects under Dallas's Percentage for Art program. The program requires spending of up to 1.5% of certain city construction projects on art. In the past 3 years, the city has spent more than $3 million on art.
But we're having to beg for fire equipment.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We're having to beg for a lot of services for police and fire. But we want to spend this. Nobody cares about art.
No, it's the condensation.
Nobody wants to go to the museum. They don't. How many times you been to the, who's a
Dallas Museum of Art?
Nasher sculpture garden thing?
Huh? Whatever. I haven't been to any exhibit of anything because I don't care.
You don't. A lot of people do. And I think the city's idea is the more...
What's the one downtown? The Bette Midler what?
Dallas Museum of Art.
The Campbell Art Museum?
That's Fort Worth.
All right. I don't know what I'm thinking about. Bette Midler got something downtown?
The Meyerson?
Yeah, that one.
Symphony Hall.
Oh. I don't go there either.
No, you don't. I've been there. It's beautiful.
Let the private industry fund that. If nobody wants to, then it'll go away. Just like PBS. Mm-hmm. Nobody should have to pay for that.
You're right. It's individuals.
Now, they have to do fundraising, but still part of that is funded by us. I don't want you to have it.
I can't believe they're spending this much money in fire departments and police stations when we don't have equipment that's up to snuff or enough.
And they don't want to stick ads on the police cars or the fire trucks because that's demeaning. Well, if, Holly Carburetors wants to give me cash to put back into equipment for police and fire, I don't care if there's an ad on the side of the police car.
Is there any police station anywhere or department that does that yet?
They had talked about it.
Around the country, there's a couple. I want to say one was either in New Hampshire or Massachusetts. We heard about it a while back.
I don't care what's on the police car as long as it shows up.
Well, I'm sure the firemen, I think some of our firemen still have unair-conditioned trucks.
Cabs.
It's like, I bet they'd be okay with an ad on there.
Yeah, doesn't make any difference. I don't care if it looks like NASCAR. There are enough people that would pay for that, and it would make sense. I think one of you guys brought up stick bail bonds on the side of one of the police cars.
That's perfect.
So while your face is thrown on the trunk, maybe you can memorize the number.
That looks like 214. Could you put me back a little bit?
Are we going to the house with the art? I don't like getting locked up anyplace else.
It depresses me.
The other thing you had mentioned as far as the piece of art that no one can see, in addition to the South Central station where there's the condensation, the city placed a metal sculpture by a New York artist in a secure area at police headquarters because...
Is that the one somebody stole?
No, because of a software glitch, it doesn't rotate as designed. So it's back where no one sees it except for secure areas.
That's the one that I'm talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, I was trying to find out for you.
Rotate.
They've had that for years, and they can't figure out, software-wise, what the issues are, so they just hit it.
We'll just stick it in the back.
Oh, my God, this city.
Put it on Lazy Susan spin it.
$5 an hour, you can pay somebody to spin that for you.
I'll stick in the Southeast substation with the other one. Go ahead, Dan.
U.S. fighter planes intercepted 2 Russian bombers, including one that buzzed an American aircraft carrier in the Western Pacific over the weekend. A U.S. military official says that one Russian Tupolev 95 flew directly over the aircraft carrier USS Nimitz twice at a low altitude of about 2,000 feet, while another bomber circled about 58 miles away. The Saturday incident, which never escalated beyond the flyover, comes amid heightened tensions between the U.S. and Russia over U.S. plans for a missile defense system based in Poland and the Czech Republic. Such Russian bomber flights were common during the Cold War, but have, of course, been rare ever since.
Trey called this about 18 months ago.
What did he say?
He said that Putin... Sorry, I don't have the audio ready.
Okay.
Putin was planning on this to bring back the Cold War. And that's exactly where we are at this point.
I don't understand why you'd fly a bomber over a aircraft carrier and not get shot at.
To agitate us.
How about we agitate you into the ocean?
Well, we're not at war with them.
Yeah.
They're flying over our planes.
Well,
over our boats, rather.
You're flying over. They're probably ships.
Whatever they are. That's still amazing.
You can't shoot at somebody if you're not at war with them.
Wouldn't that be an act of aggression to fly directly over a aircraft carrier?
You're just out on a tear. On a toot.
We're in a bomber.
We're still not at war with Russia.
It's international waters. I mean, they probably really didn't violate anything. It's probably just a nicety that they don't do it to each other.
What were they flying?
They were flying Tupolev 95s, which are Russian bombers.
Yeah.
And
it's like a high-tech, I'm not touching you.
I think in the story they went to in Japan's airspace, too.
Yeah, and Russia's denying that they were in Japan's airspace. And actually, as the bombers got about 500 miles out from the U.S. ships, 4 Fa-18 fighters were launched from the Nimitz. The fighters intercepted the Russian bombers about 50 miles south of the Nimitz. At least 2 of the Hornets trailed the bomber as it came in low over the Nimitz twice, while 1 or 2 of the other U.S. fighters went and hung out with the other bomber.
And why is it that Putin, still no idea, is a fan of the Cold War?
Because he wants Russia to be
a superpower?
A superpower again. And have all the might and respect. And that's why he's so popular with the people, is he's doing these things, and they're getting that feeling of old Soviet Union, we are a world power.
We're cocky, we can even jack with the U.S. and they won't hurt us.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. The Pentagon has charged 6 detainees at Guantanamo Bay with murder and war crimes.
Here's what I want to know, is where are we going to execute them? Because we put those on hold, unless that's okay for Gitmo.
I'm sure military, it's probably different.
Okay.
Yep. Anyway, in connection with the September 11th attacks, officials said they'll seek the death penalty in what would be the first capital trials under the terrorism-era military tribunal system. That was according to Brigadier General Thomas W. Hartman. And the 6 included Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, the suspected mastermind of the attacks in which hijackers flew planes into buildings in New York and Washington. Another hijacked plane, of course, crashed in the fields of western Pennsylvania. The military wants the 6 tried together before that military tribunal, but the cases may be clouded because of the recent revelation that Mohammed was subject to harsh interrogation technique known as waterboarding.
How do they consider that harsh? How do you even put the 2 together? There's no damage. You're just frightened.
You think you're going to die, and that's torture.
I think that's in conflict with the Geneva Convention. This is the biggest problem. This is a bad idea.
Well, which part?
They're trying to execute them.
Why?
We're going to look bad. It's going to agitate the Muslim world.
They don't like us.
They're going to not like us even more.
I don't believe you can take that to another level. They don't like us. There's nothing that we can do to gain their favor. They don't care for us at all.
The main thing, it makes us look worse in the eyes of allies in Europe because they're all against the death penalty. And as far as the Muslim world and extremists, all it does is martyr these guys.
And it's going to open up, and everyone's...
Well, I care if it does something for your image. They don't like us. Nobody likes us. Nobody wants to help us. Everybody wants to sit back and watch us do something.
Well, some people are on our side. But
well, it's not going to turn the Allies totally against us by executing people who were convicted of the 9/11 attacks.
Killing thousands of people.
But it's going to open up what we've done to them. And chances are...
They already know what we've done to them.
Not everything.
What else have we done?
That's the good question but it probably didn't end with waterboarding.
I'm sure it did.
Good nature.
Because they got... Khalid Sheikh Mohammed
hazing
to roll over on a bunch of other people.
Well, you take somebody out and leave them naked with no cash. Sometimes you'll drop dime on people. It's just college pranks. We're going to leave you out here naked. Not a freaking dime.
Huh?
Okay.
Tell you everything.
Give me a pen.
What? So what are they... Why now? Why did they pick now to try these guys? Just tired of warehousing them?
They've got to do something with them. They need to get out of... Shut down Gitmo as far as their terrorism.
And take those guys where?
Probably here. In the United States.
And then do what with them?
House them, have them on this military tribunal, and then execute them.
And your biggest fear is something's going to come of us doing more than waterboarding.
It's going to make us look bad to the international community.
They don't like us.
Well, Britain, French, I mean...
They're going to stand by in a disastrous situation. They're going to stand by us whether we waterboard somebody or not, or whether we execute somebody for the 9/11 attacks. They're not going to totally just back away from us permanently.
But why do it? I mean, you really...
Just to be dicks.
Well, but it is the negative outweigh the positive of killing them.
Yes. Go ahead, Dan.
Okay. Kim Shostrom wanted a real-life version of the film My Big Fat Greek Wedding, which played in the background as friends fixed her hair and makeup before her own marriage ceremony. But less than an hour after the Bronx-born woman and Teddy Efkarpides were wed, Shostrom crumpled in her husband's arms during a Greek song that means love me. At 36, she was dead from heart disease. During the couple's first dance, Shostrom complained of being lightheaded. Efkarpides thought his wife, a diabetic, needed sugar, but she collapsed. Wedding guests, paramedics, and doctors at a nearby hospital were unable to revive her.
Who was this that died?
It's just a bride in Florida, but it was a perfect wedding. The whole town had come together. The school that helped put her dress together, everybody volunteered. It was this big deal. First dance, she dies in his arms of a heart disease.
Where did the Greek wedding thing come from?
They're Greek.
They're Greek. Yeah, they're Greek. And that was her.
Or at least Teddy is. I'm not sure about her last name.
That's what it looked like Saturday night when I went to that marketplace and I walked into that maze and it was full of fat bitches. They're all running around, scampering, grabbing fruit, vegetables, weighing it like they were getting ready for some big festive affair.
A big fat Greek wedding.
And it was nonstop. And you guys laughed when I told you the story earlier. Why is it nobody else gave me the heads up that this particular market was like that?
I really thought you being as close in proximity, you'd been there before. I've been there, and I probably won't go back. Somebody did email, said there are little trap doors, by the way. There are ways to get through the fruit.
Well, why isn't that posted someplace? Because
they want you to go through the maze. They want you to.
Are they afraid one of the fat women are going to clog it?
Unfortunately.
Probably.
Unfortunately, when they, had this whole idea and concept for the stores to be laid out that way, they didn't take into consideration fat Americans.
And they didn't take into consideration sometimes we're just in a hurry and we don't really want to walk through your cute little maze. That's very nice.
Gavin told me that's the new fad as far as design for some of these specialty markets with healthy. Why is it, if it's supposed to be healthy food, that place was full of fat women? With one woman so fat that her stomach hung down over her.
God, I have no idea. But you're right. It is clogged. And the way they've designed it, you just have to wait. There's no way around it.
How do you go to pee when your stomach hangs down over your...
Again, that's a circus act waiting to happen.
Floor jack.
What?
Floor jack.
Shut up.
I don't know. How does Stacy have sex? Big Stacy. I don't know. Those things boggle the mind. They'll be on the Science Channel someday, but right now they boggle the mind.
Okay, go ahead.
It's been about half a year since we last had a lunar eclipse, and the next one is going to happen a week from Wednesday on February 20th. If you stay up to watch it, you'll see the moon turn from white to a bloody red color. Christopher Columbus used a lunar eclipse to scare the hell out of some Indians in Jamaica. Columbus and his crew crashed their ship on the coast of Jamaica in June of 1503 and spent a year stranded there. As their provisions ran out, Columbus tried to get the local natives to supply him and his crew with food, but the local Indians weren't very helpful. February came around and Columbus read in his almanac that there'd be a lunar eclipse. On February 29th, 1504.
Scamp.
Columbus told the Indians that God was angry at them, and if the Indians didn't give him more food, he would use his power to tell God to turn the moon red in 3 days' time.
No.
I tried the same thing with the engines.
Had to work out.
Back in my first radio job.
Yeah. Didn't work out?
I told him I was going to do the eclipse.
Okay.
They cut my hair off.
Gave me this hat.
That's why I always wear this hat. Just remind me not to pull that shit on the Indians again.
What's funny is this worked.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, the Indians didn't believe him. 3 days later, the lunar eclipse happened and the moon turned a bloody red. The Indians freaked out and said they would give Columbus anything he wanted as long as he would return the moon to normal.
Oh, God. Take all that food. We'll make some fresh Pop-Tarts.
Not those Indians.
Oh. The express line is open.
Quit it.
Give that a moon back. For a Pop-Tart. With sprinkles.
Stop.
The Slurpee machine is on.
Have a nice Slurpee. Oh, God.
Bring the moon back. For a big gulp.
And that's why we have a Columbus Day.
Jacking with the Indians? Yeah. All right, fine. Don't give me no food. You going to tax with that moon? Are you crying?
Stomach hurts.
All right.
Well, Brian McNamee's lawyers said on Wednesday they gave federal prosecutors physical evidence backing the personal trainer's allegation that Roger Clemens used performance-enhancing drugs. McNamee's side turned over syringes with Clemens' blood to IRS Special Agent Jeff Nowitzki in early January. A person familiar with the evidence said, of course, speaking on the condition of anonymity because McNamee's lawyers do not want to publicly discuss details.
Here's the problem, is you can't prove what came out of that needle.
He says the syringes were used to inject Clemens with steroids and human growth hormone. The second person, also speaking anonymously, said the evidence was from 2000 and 2001.
Who hangs on to syringes for 7 years?
I actually heard part of what the lawyer had said.
Yeah.
Trey, is this the story that you sent me over the weekend that says this isn't good for Clemens?
Yeah.
Because I didn't read it. I just saw the headline.
Well, nothing in the situation is good for Clemens, but I'm not, to me, the McNamee guy still is not that credible. Because, like JD said, who the hell hangs on to syringes that are 7 years old?
Now, have they already done DNA testing and proved that it was Clemens' blood?
No, not yet. This was just given to the IRS special agent in January, and they just announced or said someone had leaked it that they had these.
Maybe you keep the stuff just on the outside chance, sooner or later you're going to have to buy your way out of this, or you're going to use it for blackmailing Clemens down the road.
And that could be, but the problem is they've always, and McNamee included, has always contended that he and Clemens were best of friends, good buddies. So if you're such good friends back then, well, why would you hang on to that stuff?
Again, it's going to be an ace in the hole. I'm going to keep this. If this relationship goes bad or I get in a situation, I got to buy my way out with the feds, I've got something to offer.
Mm-hmm. And that was actually what his lawyers, McNamee's lawyers, came out and said. Said he's a former police officer, thought, hey, you know what?
Okay.
Good idea to hang on to this stuff.
Okay, so now you got a syringe with his blood on it. It's DNA. It's proven. As you said, well, what the hell came out of it? Okay, well, there's a trace of a steroid on it. That could have been put there later.
Yeah, exactly.
All you need, if you've got his DNA, all you can prove was that needle got shoved in him at one point. You can't prove what was in it.
Right, and Clemens has already come out and said that, yeah, he injected me. The only injections of anything I ever took were, I think it was B12 and lidocaine.
So he had injections, so there's the needles.
Mm-hmm. So Clemens, I think, as far as this new evidence, I don't think it's very damning.
No, not if you can go back. First of all, it's 6, 7 years old, and you can go back and do whatever to it that you want. As long as you've got his DNA, you can dip it in roids all you want.
Yeah, what do they call it? The trail of evidence broken.
Yeah, and in addition, over the weekend, there was also released that McNamee said he injected Clemens' wife with HGH before her swimsuit picture in Sports Illustrated a few years back.
All right, what difference does that make? HGH isn't illegal.
I know, but I guess they're just using that as saying, see, I was supplying this to the whole family, basically, to Clemens and his wife.
All right.
Just sort of goes to it.
Do we need a break? All right, we'll be back.
We'll be back to the Russ Martin Show. Now, back to the Russ Martin Show.
All right, Dan.
According to a new study out of the University of Michigan, a team of researchers found that the longer a couple is together, the more irritating they find each other.
Well, no.
This is
no way.
This is probably the result of accumulated contact, which is basically another way of saying you just see the person all the time. When you're part of a couple, your spouse is your go-to person, and vice versa. That means you open up to them more than you would to anyone else. But because they're your go-to, you're in near constant contact, and they're nitpicking and all their demands as well.
You also make them your go-to person. You don't share information with somebody that could eventually leave you, because then they tell people.
Well, sure. You mean you won't share anything with your soon-to-be wed beautiful woman? We got to start planning, by the way.
No.
This is coming up in September.
I don't know that.
You set the date. There are plans to be made. There are parties to be had. Are you going to do it at the house? Are you going to do it at the country club?
This really makes me nauseous.
Well, why? It's just a wedding.
I'm not playing this up. It really makes me dizzy.
At your age, I don't understand this. I really don't. I mean,
at my age, it makes the most sense. If you're in your 20s and you get married, if it goes belly up, well, you know what? I've got another 40, 50 years.
Well,
I don't have that.
You don't have that either way. Why not spend it with somebody that you love and respect? And
I like the engagement process because it was open-ended.
This is finite. Nothing will change in your life when you get married.
Again, so there's no reason to do it.
Except she really liked to be married. The chicks are that way. They're kind of pushy.
She wants to be Mrs. Martin.
I don't want her to be.
Yeah,
I care about her. I love her. I would miss her if she's gone, but I don't know how she talked me into a wedding date Friday night. She waited until I was a couple of Razapam and 2 or 3 glasses of Hornitos down, and then she started talking to me about it.
Further proof that she's probably perfect for you.
Yeah,
no, that's manipulative, and we don't do that.
Oh, please. She's learned from the best.
I'd like to know what
the process was.
Swear to Jesus, I got no clue how we got off on that conversation of let's set a date.
Would you call her and ask her?
No.
Why?
I haven't talked to her about it.
Well, it's going to come up.
So whenever that date comes up, I can feign ignorance.
No, there's going to be plans and parties, and you're going to have a tux. And she's probably already looking for a dress, isn't she?
She started last Saturday.
Perfect. Well, there you go. You're all set. Dress. Of course, she can forget a honeymoon.
Why?
Because
she can forget a honeymoon because we're not going to have a
No, she can forget a honeymoon because you won't go anywhere. Honeymoon in the house. It's plenty big. There's rooms you haven't been in.
Just decorate those, look like a beach.
I woke up Saturday, and when I got the email from Rob that said congratulations, meaning she'd already told somebody, I physically got sick.
Oh, why? Why would you be sick?
Why aren't you married?
I've been married.
Why aren't you married now?
I have.
You don't want to be married.
We have
you use all of these scenarios as an excuse.
No.
If you really wanted to be married, you'd figure out a way around this. You don't want to be married. I don't want to be married. You don't want to be married. Let's just start a little support group. Let's marry each other.
No.
And then we can say, we're not available.
No.
You and I don't want to be married. I don't know why I'm engaged, and I don't know why I've set a date, but I don't want it to happen.
It's a natural attraction.
If I could get bone cancer, I'd be happy with that.
Russell.
So I'd be dead.
Careful what you say. Don't be silly.
Saying
bone cancer. Don't even go there. Better than getting married. Get married. If I got married, my life would change. She would move in with
This
me.
marriage could last forever. You get some type of bone cancer, you're out.
It's finite. This could last forever. You're right. At this point in your life, don't you want somebody, and I'm trying to sound like a Hallmark card, to grow old with and love and just be there all the time? You do enjoy her company, or she wouldn't still be in that house.
I enjoy the comfort that comes along with a relationship. I don't enjoy the fidelity that seems to tag along behind it.
I understand. Well, it's time.
What are you going to do when you get married and you can't throw her out?
I don't know when that would happen.
When you're married?
No, that I couldn't throw her out.
When you're married, you can't throw her out of her own home.
Yeah, I think I can.
You own that house together.
No.
Yes. You do as a married.
Just because we get married doesn't mean she becomes partial owner of that house.
No, but it is her homestead, and you can't throw her out of it.
Yeah, I can.
Physically, you can.
Yes.
And she'll come back with
The local and the state authorities to intercede? Mm-hmm. No.
Yes, you will.
They're all on my side. Well, we got in a fight before, and one of them held her for me.
No, we did not. Did not. See, your life won't change
and
at all.
That's another reason why I don't need to go through with this, because if it's going to be harder to get rid of her, I'm going to feel even more trapped. And as a result, that's going to manifest in a nasty attitude.
No.
And as a result, she pays the price for something she really had nothing to do with. So this is in her best interest.
Very nice. Very nice.
That's really what that's where it's going to go. I'm going to feel trapped. I'm going to be pissed off. I should be pissed off at myself, but because I like to project, she's going to eat it.
You're no more trapped, married than you are right this second.
Yes, I am.
How? Other than
at that point, you've incorporated. Once you get married, now there's a partnership, and it's on paper. We don't have anything on paper right now. I want to dissolve this. All it takes is a couple of swift kicks in the poon.
Do you really think she's going to want to continue living like this forever?
And if she doesn't, then what happens? Do you think she's going to leave me?
Yeah. Eventually, all girls want to be married.
Well, if you really love me, then you'll just enjoy the actual relationship and not some stupid societal title that people want to throw on for no reason. That's crazy and stupid.
Well, maybe if it's going to cause you so much angst for the next 6 months, once you marry her now, get it over with, and you can have a big ceremonial wedding,
big party
in September.
Why don't you? Why don't you do that?
And I'd actually like to watch that.
Yeah. Just get a swizzle stick. Is that what you call those?
Yes.
Stick it in your ass, and if you can actually through it, I'll get married. That's my template. That's what I live by.
You must be
my new religion, scatology.
You must be. You must be drawn to this, or you wouldn't have gotten engaged. You guys would have had this conversation. Let me finish this one thought. You would have had this conversation when this first came up. You would have said, "All right, we are going to live together. We are not going to ever get married." Okay? Is everybody cool with that? Then, if she changes, then that's her fault.
I don't know why I proposed. I don't have any shtick. I don't have a valid reason. I was drunk and power washing.
Because you're drawn to get married. You've never done it, and this is a perfect opportunity.
But I don't like for that door to close. And that's what happens. Marriage doesn't open up possibilities, and you don't grow spiritually. Things start to close. No. I can hear it in my head of opportunities slamming shut.
No, not really. You just grow together to love each other deeper. You do. And then?
And why aren't you married?
8 or 10 years later, you kill the bitch.
All right. You're not married because you don't want to be.
We grew apart.
No, I'm talking about with Joy.
Currently.
You don't want to be married.
I can't.
Yes, you can. There are ways around whatever problems that you have. Distance, the location, doesn't make any difference. If you really wanted to, you could have figured out a solution. You don't want to. I don't want to. Let's just marry each other.
I'm not going to marry you.
At least I could put you on my insurance.
Actually, you could.
Shady, you should probably hear him out on this. This could be, pretty advantageous for you.
Support group. Yeah, hold on a minute. We meet Thursday nights at 8 o'clock.
Gotta do nothing. You and I get married, and we tell both the bitches that we're already taken.
Now, scat.
I'll blow you if it'll make them believe it.
No, let's don't. You lost that.
Saturday, when I realized what had happened, I was sick most of the day.
Does she know any of this, that you're backing out?
No.
And how?
Because we haven't talked to her.
So I'm surprised she didn't get it up Saturday and get really excited and go, honey, I'm so glad we finally made the decision.
I think she knew she caught me in a state of lorazepam and hornitos and that it wasn't fair.
I think it's completely.
And if we don't address it, then...
The day's going to come.
Well...
The day's been set.
There's plans to be made.
September what, Chuck?
27th.
Well, listen to church.
What?
Listen to Claude. 27th.
Are you excited about this?
Yeah, pretty excited about it, man.
Why?
Because I just, I've just known you for a long time, and I think this is really cool. I think this is something, you know what I mean? I think it's going to...
It's like a passage.
Yeah, I guess if you will. I just think it's cool. And I love Amy to death. I think she's great for you. And you know what? and you put up with her, I don't know. The other way around. She puts up with you, and she kind of fights back a little bit, and she's not like totally like, submissive to your,
leave you alone.
And you like all of that.
I think it's pretty neat.
Would you like her?
No. She's yours.
The boobs are paid for.
She's yours.
It's a bonus.
Yeah.
And you've admitted many times of how much you liked her and the good qualities that she's got that you enjoy.
I may pass out.
Just give it a week.
I'm not kidding. I'm starting to get clammy and just thinking about the entire process. And as we get closer, if I actually allow that date to happen, I'm going to be miserable. And as a result, because I like to keep things inside,
yes,
I'm going to let all of you guys share.
All right. When does she die?
You guys come home with me tonight.
I got some cash.
I'm going to get more anxious as the date comes up, and I'm going to be... I'm unbearable now on iffy days as far as the show goes. Just imagine how that's going to play out. There ain't going to be a whole lot of content coming from this.
Okay.
Take my suggestion.
Do it.
I don't see how burning Carlos's house down is going to rectify anything.
Sure, Trey, you feel better.
Be festive.
Yeah, your suggestion of what?
Let's go ahead and do a civil ceremony now.
How does that make him feel better, though?
It gets it over with.
It takes the anxiety out of it, everything that leads up to it. But again, you guys have pointed out, the wedding is for the bride, got nothing to do with the groom. And I don't want to be that guy.
You don't want to be the guy, the groom. Well, the day's going to come and go. Then you're going to have to sit down with her at some point and go, I was narcotized, and you knew it.
She did.
Oh, okay.
She was watching me drink. She watched me take the lorazepam, and then she waits an hour and a half and decides to start talking about something. I have no recollection.
Then you're going to have the conversation. I've changed my mind again, and it's off again. Quit. You're not sweating. Quit rubbing your forehead.
Trey, tell her for me.
You coward. You're backing out of your own wedding. You tell her.
I'm not afraid of her. I just don't want to have to deal with the emotional issues that go along with it.
Yeah, there's probably going to be some tears.
You got yourself into this.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you. Who took the drugs? Who took them?
Who's responsible?
Who's responsible for taking the drugs?
Who's responsible?
Who's responsible?
Chloe.
Really?
He's the first one to give me the lorazepam.
Oh.
Now I'm hooked on it.
Bye, Chloe.
I just gave you one.
You got to be in the same house with Burns when she's in it.
Yeah. Think Waco.
It'll be fun.
I'm either going to have to come to terms with this or I'm going to have to tell her.
I think over time you'll come to terms with it. Give it a couple of weeks.
When you proposed, how long before you got married?
6 months. 6 months.
How did you feel leading up to that?
I was so young. I was so stupid. I was excited, actually.
Dan, what about you?
It's about the same. Ours was...
just how you felt. I don't care the timeline.
Excited, but also nervous. And then throwing in the age thing, it's like, well, it's young, so you still have that
Exactly.
question.
Well, the other thing is, I'm almost 50. You guys were young when you got married. If it went belly up, you still had plenty of years to try it again. If I get married and this goes belly up, I don't know what's going to happen. And I don't want that.
Well, all you do is start dating.
I don't want doors to close.
All you'll do is, if it goes belly up, God forbid, you start dating again, which is what you want to do anyway.
Who's going to date me in my 50s?
A lot of people.
Some of them will, either way. Okay, you don't get married. You're still going to turn 50. You do get married. You're still going to turn 50. That's coming. This doesn't stop that from coming, not getting married. You're still going to have to date in your 50s, even if you break up with her. She's not going to wait around forever.
And just tell her front end. You don't want to be bothered with any of the details.
Like showing up.
No. You're told where to show up, and you'll be there.
A lot of grooms do that. I said, you take care of the details.
Well, I didn't even know she had looked at wedding dresses until Saturday night. She came home and went, where you been? Someplace you didn't want to be. All right. You're going to have to narrow that down. Mm-hmm. She said, looking at wedding dresses with my mom. All right.
It's a big time in a girl's life. I'm not being silly. Really.
I think we've picked one out. Then buy it. Save it.
She will. It takes about that long to make sure it gets in, it gets altered, and it's perfect.
I don't want to get married. I don't know how to dress this up. I don't know how to paint this. I don't know how to make it entertaining. I don't know how to do this without passing out. I don't want to get married.
Then don't.
All right.
She's not going to wait forever.
Okay.
Then she'll leave you, and you'll be back to dating in your 50s.
Okay, fine. Well, at least my opportunities are still there. Dan News.
Insider host Pat O'Brien is back in rehab. The show.
Trey, where's the throwdown flask?
I guess it's in the office.
Well, go get it someplace.
Okay.
What? So what's that going to solve?
I'll feel better.
That's how you got into this mess.
That's how I'm going to get out of it.
The Insider host, Pat O'Brien, is back in rehab. The show issued a statement saying this was the best course for maintaining his sobriety. O'Brien, who will be 60 on Thursday, did 40 days in rehab in 2005 after what could be referred to as bizarre voicemail messages he had made to a woman were leaked.
Go ahead.
Amy Winehouse won 5 of the 6 Grammys she was nominated for.
Did she show up for the performance?
Via satellite. I have some audio if you want it.
What did she do? I didn't see any of it.
What are you laughing at, Chloe?
I was laughing at the look at her face when she won. It was the mass of dead.
17. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Just eyes and the deers in the headlight look.
This is her. She won for Record of the Year for Rehab. Got 17.
And the Grammy. Her record's called Rehab.
Have you ever heard this?
Goes to Amy Winehouse.
This is via satellite.
Thank you to everyone at Island Records, everyone at EMI Music Publishing, to Ray and Joe, 10 years this year, Ray and Joe, to Mark Ronson and Salama and me, to my mum and dad, for my Blake incarcerated, and for London, this is for London, because Camden
She sounded drunk there. They propped her up. I'm sure for that little
so what was her response when they said she won?
She just got deer in the headlights look like, oh, what, me? And she just stood just perfectly still for a few seconds before she responded.
Maybe she just heard rehab, thought she was going to have to go back in.
You want to hear her sing? She actually did a medley of You Know I'm No Good and Rehab on a Cut 18. All right. It took 5 minutes.
Is she intelligible?
Better than she was in the other video. What we saw.
You sit downstairs, my bar and her. Your rolled up sleeves and your skull t-shirt. You said, what did you do with him today? He'll snoop me out like I was Tanqueray. 'Cause you're my fella, my guy.
Did I get her on my Deadpool or Dan, you keep her?
I hang on to her.
All right.
Or hung.
I don't get the big deal with her. I really don't. There's so many people that can sing better.
Flo, do you get it?
It's just kind of sultry and just kind of, I can't really say the word different. It's just a chick that...
Well, if I had to pick one, I'd go with this in place of the Britney Spears, the Jessica Simpson, whatever, the techno stuff that's been put out. I come closer to listen to this.
I'm talking about somebody like Alicia Keys. I have another cut with Alicia Keys singing a duet with Frank Sinatra. That's cut 21. That's actually beautiful.
The tables are empty. The dance floor's deserted. You play the same love song. Is the 10th time you've heard it?
That's the beginning.
Sing it, Frank.
Just one of those clues. You've had your first lesson.
What time was the Grammys on?
Pretty much in the evening. I didn't watch it.
No.
That'd be a good wedding song.
What?
That song right there? Be a pretty wedding song.
For
you.
I'm more partial to Guns N' Roses.
Are you still ever?
Flo got that one.
I just can't win.
You know which one we're talking about?
No, I know the song. No. What song?
Flo will find it.
Mm-hmm.
You still love her.
Oh, God.
Go ahead, Dan.
You want to hear more from...
No.
Okay, Kanye West.
Oh, what did Kanye do? Is this his mom's song?
This is cut number 19 where they start playing him off and he starts talking about his mama. He says, now be a nice time to cut the music off. Let's cut.
And the Grammy goes to Kanye.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
So they tried cutting him off?
They tried cutting him off,
It
talking
definitely
him
feels
down.
good to be home here at the Grammys. You know, we snuck in about 4 or 5 years ago, and now we basically made this our new place of residence. And when working on a hip-hop album and a state, you know, with the music...
Now, how long did they give him?
You were supposed to wrap it up as close to a minute as you could. He goes about 2:15. He doesn't get pushy until about a minute 20 in.
For Mark Ronson and Amy Winehouse, come on, you gonna play music on me?
Yeah, we are.
For Mark Ronson and Amy Winehouse, if I don't get up here for Album of the Year, you deserve it just as much as me. I deserve it too. And just to say something about my mother, I appreciate all the support. I appreciate all the prayers.
Well, now they're going to look like dicks if they cut him off. That's what I miss.
That's his little slam to the...
I appreciate all the support. I appreciate all the prayers. It would be in good taste to stop the music then. I appreciate... I appreciate everything, and I know you're really proud of me right now, and I know you wouldn't want me to stop, and you want me to be the #1 artist in the world. And Mama, all I'm gonna do is keep making you proud. We run this.
Is that it? Yeah, there's one more I want you to hear before we break those. Cut 20. It's Vince Gill winning Best Country Album.
And the Grammy goes to...
This is Ringo Starr.
These days, Vince Gill. Vince Gill!
I just got an award given to me by a Beatle. Have you had that happen yet, Kanye?
Right here?
We'll be back to the Russ Martin Show.
Bam! Feel my pain.
To the Russ Martin Show.
What cut was Vince Gill again?
Oh, Vince was... I love that moment, 20.
And the Grammy goes to... These days, Vince Gill. Vince Gill!
Got an award given to me by a Beatle. Have you had that happen yet, Kanye?
The biggest reason that's funny is because Kanye is just such an egotistical dick when it comes to anything.
That's in its...
I was used by MTV. I didn't win this award. I'm not coming back.
Ever.
You people are proud of me. You want me to have this. What cut was Kanye again?
Kanye.
You know what? I don't want to hear all of that again.
Okay.
I got an award from a Beatle. I'd also like to say hello to my mama.
Russell.
Who's in the front row? Hi, Mama! Mama! Look what I got!
Stop that.
Mama, come hug me.
That's evil.
You got one of these, Kanye?
Maybe we should go. And come back.
Mama, you're so warm.
Oh, my God.
It's just the egotistical attitude that feeds all of that.
I know.
Everybody's proud of me. Dude, I don't know you. I feel bad that your mama died, especially, what was she, in her 50s?
Yeah.
All of that's horrible, but don't use that and milk it on the Grammys to buy extra time.
Extra time to talk about your your album and how you deserve it. Amy Winehouse, you don't get it. I'm glad.
I deserve it.
I deserve as much as you do.
I just got this award from the Beatles.
Mama, come up on stage.
Well, it's funny. He just said so un-Vince Gill. That's what adds to the moment. He's just a gentleman. And so just for him to haul back and just punch the hell out of somebody.
Mama, hold the award. Hold it up high. Higher than 6 feet. Wow.
I believe I'll be going home now.
Trey, what was the link that you sent me?
It's a link to a 1976 Jimmy Carter campaign ad. It was on television.
Why you sent me this?
Play it and you'll know why.
Oh, all right.
And the Grammy goes to, these days, Vince Gill. Vince Gill!
And why wasn't your mom really the first thing that you brought up?
Yeah, exactly. If you got a minute and you know you've been told a minute, bring that up first. So you know what? I want to take this time to celebrate.
And that should have been everything
life.
because nobody would have been offended that they got left out because he wants to talk about his mom. He was close to his mom. I get it. I'm not in the same situation that he is.
No.
But he wrote a song about his mom. He was distraught when she died. I get that.
Bring it up first.
But bring that up. The reason that you have to mention everybody in one of these awards is you forget one person and they get pissed off. It doesn't matter who it is. But if he left everybody out and just talked about his mama, everybody been fine with it.
He wanted to buy another minute on TV.
I just got an award given to me by a Beatle. Have you had that happen yet, Kanye?
That's the way he said it, too.
Well, and also the reaction of the crowd. Got something from a Beatle. Mama, come on! All right, let me play the Carter thing, then we'll go. Does this have to go back? Does this go back to? What?
It goes back to the Obama speech. We were talking about how you could take something from 50 years ago and it probably sounds the same.
And it's not just Obama; it's everybody.
Yes.
All right. This was from '76.
Yes.
Okay.
We've seen walls built around Washington, and we feel like we can't quite get through to guarantee the people of this country a government that's sensitive to our needs, that we can understand and control, that's competent, well-managed, efficient, economical, purposeful, and also a government of which we can be proud.
Jimmy Carter, a leader for a change.
Oh, my God. It took him 4 years to everything up. Yeah. Unemployment, inflation, everything was as it was at historic highs by the time Carter was out of office.
4 years.
And he's selling the same shtick that we get today.
Same exact thing for a change.
I'm going to do something for the comment. And that was one thing that got Carter into office was he came off he was a farmer.
He came off as a normal guy. He came off as a politician. And we were ready for somebody who was not a politician.
And it's really the same thing with Obama. And I'm not slamming him. I just don't like the fact that everything you give me is vague. Give me something purposeful. Give me something detailed. Don't give me, yes, we can, because that means I don't know.
I have a dream.
All right. Anything else before we go?
Mama, come on out here!
We're talking about death. Hey, Russ.
Kanye, I'd like you to meet my mom.
We should leave from this.
Give her a hug.
Feel a warm.
All right, Chuck, let's go. All right, Dan.
For more information about the Russ Martin Show, including pictures, videos, and more, go to russmartin.com. To answer any question you may have about the show, go to russmartin.info. To instant email the show and only during the show, send that to studio@russmartin.com.
Now you got me. My mama ain't living with Beatles.
Other show websites, JohnDavidRyan.com, DanAntassos.com, DJClo.com, TreyTrunholm.com, and for Chuck on the keyboards, ChuckWeek.com. The official caterer of the show is Sugar Babies Barbecue. Their website, SugarBabiesBBQ.com. Limo service is provided by Limo George. His website, LimoGeorge.com. The official liquor store of the Russ Martin Show is Majestic Fine Wine and Spirits. Their website, MajesticLiquors.com. And the official site for Live 105.3 is Live1053.com.
See you guys tomorrow. See you tomorrow.
You can now listen to The Russ Martin Show anytime you want on the web at russmartin.info.
Bam! Feel my pimp hand.